piece of land out in the countryside. Lay back and smell the sun, warm up the Georgia pie. Feels so good to be taking it easy. Why would I ever leave? 'Cause I know I got some good.
We have dusted off the good old Sports 56 family truckster. We've jumped in it, and we've headed south down to DeSoto County, to South Haven, and to 371 Goodman Road to be specific, as today we broadcast Middays live from Landers Nissan in South Haven. We welcome you into the show. It's the Tuesday, November 12th, 2019 edition. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoie on location. Gabe Kuhn back in the Family Leisure Studios, where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. And, of course, Sports 56 Middays is delivered each and every day by our title and presenting sponsor, FedEx. Visit FedEx.com/e-commerce to see how to turn browsers into buyers. Learn how FedEx can help you take your business to the next level. We are here today for the Affordable Christmas campaign, which is underway in a big 3 hours, a very important 3 hours coming up during our show. And we will tell you more about that in just a second, how you can help out, because 'tis the season, ready or not, here we go. It's only November 12th, but Thanksgiving is a couple of weeks away, and Christmas and the holidays right around the corner. So we'll be telling you more about the Affordable Christmas campaign and why we're here on location today, but also plenty to talk about in the world of sports. The Grizzlies get a nice road victory yesterday and look good in the process, despite a bad game for Ja Morant, but a very good game for Jaren Jackson Jr. We'll talk about their win in San Antonio. The Memphis Tigers, the 13th-ranked men's basketball team in the nation, play the number 14 Oregon Ducks tonight in Portland. James Wiseman, yes, will play. Yesterday, picked up a couple of awards. We'll tell you about that. But a big battle, early season battle tonight, and we will discuss that game in just a few moments. Also on the program today, Steve Macy will join us from the University of Memphis at approximately 11:25. Don Wade will join us for The Dish, as he does every Tuesday at noon. And then at 12:30, another weekly regular, Connor O'Gara from SaturdayDownSouth.com on college football. Of course, tonight, the playoff committee will announce its second week of the rankings, and there will be a shakeup after Alabama goes down to LSU. Where will Alabama fall, and what about the Minnesota win? How far can they jump? They were 17th in the first rankings, but they beat Penn State. We will have a lot of college football to talk about. College football in Arkansas. Who will replace the now fired coach Chad Morris? The leading candidate happens to be somebody you're very familiar with. We will discuss that on the program today. We'll talk about the NFL. The Week 10 recap will come up today on the show after last night's Monday Night Football, a very good one between Seattle and San Francisco, where Mercury Morris is popping some champagne. We got 2.5 questions on the docket, and if that's not enough, Humdinger's Trivia. Give you a chance to win a gift card to Humdinger's Restaurant in East Memphis. It's a full show, and Eli, it's great to be back here in South Haven for a very important cause.
Yeah, that's right. The Affordable Christmas is with Trinity Church, and what it does, they take donations in order to make it so that low-income families can have the opportunity to still go out and purchase gifts for their kids for the holidays, and lets you do that, get the whole feeling of Christmas shopping and all that. But they do it at like a tenth of the actual price of these gifts that they are getting. So it makes it affordable. That's right there in the name, affordable for them for Christmas. And today, while we're on the air, and this is why we're at Landers Nissan today, because the folks at Landers Nissan are really stepping up to help out in this. But any donations made from now until 1 o'clock today, Landers Nissan is going to match those donations. And kudos to them for that. It's easy for you to donate. You can stop by here at Landers Nissan up until 1 o'clock, and you could donate here, cash, check, whatever. But even easier than that, so you don't even have to go out into the cold if you do not want to. You can text the word Trinity to 77977. There will be a little form that pops up. You choose Affordable Christmas from the drop-down menu, and you can donate that way. So you literally don't even have to leave your office, your home, your car, whatever. All you got to do is text Trinity to 77977. And again, choose Affordable Christmas from the drop-down menu, and you can donate that way. And again, anything donated via text, via here in person, any donations up until 1 o'clock this afternoon, Landers Nissan is going to match. And all donations go to provide toys for the participating families, and they are tax deductible. The donations are tax deductible. So it's very simple, and it's a great cause. Folks down there at Trinity Church doing great things here in DeSoto County. So, yes, if you can, please do so. Again, we'd love to see you stop by and see us here at Landers Nissan, but if you don't have time to come by, just text Trinity to 77977. And again, any little bit helps. And again, when the fact that Landers Nissan is matching it, any little bit you give is doubled. So that works out well.
No, you're exactly right, Eli. And we can't stress that enough that, look, there are families out there that just, quite frankly, can't afford Christmas. And they can't afford to buy gifts for their kids. And it's horrible, and this is a way to help out the low-income families. But as you said, not only is this a match today from Landers Nissan, but they are able to purchase these toys at an affordable price, and as you said, thus the name Affordable Christmas. So you're already getting a chance to buy these toys at a discounted price. Then today, your money is matched. So even if you could drop by or you can text in $5, that is $10, or $10 becomes $20, and it only happens during the next 3 hours where Landers will match. So please, I know it's early and you're probably not even ready for the Christmas season, but think about those that won't have anything at the Christmas holiday time, and now because of you, they will. So dig down deep, anything you could do. Again, text Trinity to 77977. You complete the form. Choose Affordable Christmas from the drop-down menu, or you can drop by here as we broadcast live for the next 3 hours.
And the donations, you can continue to donate through this to this, but today up until 1 o'clock is just the time where Landers is going to be matching. So if you can do it today before 1 o'clock, that just makes it that much better, because again, that will be doubled. These the low income families that they are helping, that give the opportunity to buy the gifts at such affordable prices, they're invited through their partner schools: Hope Sullivan Elementary School, South Haven Elementary School, and Greenbrook Elementary School are the partner schools of this campaign. So again, anything you can do to help out is great for the folks with Trinity Church and their Affordable Christmas.
All right, we got a lot to get into on the program today, and we'll start with a very rare occurrence that happened to my partner last night, not far from here at the Landers Center in South Haven with the G League Memphis Hustle.
Yeah, we had a rain out. Happen very often, but
by the way, if you don't know, they play basketball indoors.
Yes, yeah, we were not trying to play outdoors. That would have not been fun last night. But yeah, we the Hustle got off to a great start. They were up by 25 after the first quarter, rolling along. Then with 4:07 to go in the second quarter, there was a technical foul called, and then all of a sudden, one of the officials was out near midcourt, and he says, "Whoa, everybody! There's water on the floor at midcourt." So they stopped the game. They called all the building. We had people on phones and radios. There was a lot of things. I'm not sure who. There were people. I think we may have been talking to people in outer space. I don't know. There was people talking to everybody to try and figure out a way to stop this. But the word we got was that it was so windy and with the rain that some vents, the wind was blowing the rain in the vents and making it drip down onto the court. So they tried closing the vents and see if that would stop it. They did that. They waited for a while. It was still dripping. And then, really to the displeasure of the two head coaches, the one official just said, "We're done. We're not playing." And he called it and said, we don't know. I don't know for sure what they are going to do when they will try and make this up. You know, it's funny because the next time Iowa comes to town, there is actually open dates for both teams around them. So they theoretically could play back-to-back or something when they're in town. The problem with that is that's the second to last week of the season. So if you were going to try and resume the game, there may only be like 4 guys who were playing that are still on rosters at that time. You have
Right,
no idea.
right.
So I don't know. I don't know if they will try and resume it at some point, if they'll just start it over, if they don't play it, what exactly will happen. But the weird part about it is we are 4 days into the G League season. That is the second rainout.
And the first one being?
Westchester had their opener rained out. So 4 days into the season, 2 rainouts in a basketball league.
Is there a moral here that we need to about roofs and things of that nature?
But yeah, so it was funny because they had towels laid up all over the court. Like they just have towels everywhere while this is and then but then once they called the game and they picked up all the towels, they literally put a tarp down. So it was just like, it's like they called out the tarp crew like a baseball field. Like they laid a tarp, this giant piece of plastic across the middle of the court. There was apparently a point at one point conversation about taking the giant piece of plastic and somehow hanging it up on the ceiling to catch the water before it actually got to the floor. I don't know how they were going to do that, but that was at one point apparently part of the discussions.
I'm going to tell you that would have been a mistake because eventually we would have got too heavy and would have collapsed.
Well, no, they were going to run some sort of like funneling system to make the water and take it. I don't know. There was a lot of engineered talk.
Right.
There was a lot of stuff going on. We couldn't get anybody volunteer to go up on the roof and just hold an umbrella up there. No. Apparently, it was a little too cold, too windy.
Did you guys, for some reason, get Secaucus on the line? Did you the replay center and try to? The officials were on the phone, coaches were on phones, all the people that run the Lander Center were on phones and radios. I don't know. They may have all been talking to each other from like 5 feet away because I don't know who they were all talking to. Like they're literally everybody there immediately got on a phone or radio and started talking to somebody. So how much time did you have to kill, or is it different with Facebook Live that you can go away and come back?
We weren't on Facebook Live. We were on the G League website.
Okay.
But we talked because we didn't know for sure like how long this delay was going to be. Like we thought maybe it was going to be they were going to wipe the water up.
Right, they didn't give you any information. Yeah.
And then once we realized it was still dripping and it was going to be a while, we talked and had some fun for a while, and then we just went to a break basically. But
that never came back.
That break is a graphic on the screen, and then once we finally got word that it was postponed, we weren't going to play, then we just came back on to do a wrap up and let everybody know that the rest of this game's not going to be played tonight, so we don't know what the heck's going on. So for Iowa, like their coach was unhappy because like they don't want to have this is the G League.
They're the road team too.
They don't want to travel down here to not play a game.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not easy to get from Iowa to here. I mean, they're flying commercial stuff. Like this isn't you jump on your charter. We got huge budgets. Nobody really cares. This is their budgets are tight. And they're flying commercial, so not easy to get here to come in and not be able to play the game. They don't want that. And the two coaches wanted to wait a little longer to see if the rain would move on a little bit more or if they could at least give it a little bit more time. But one of the referees was having none of that.
Well, the most important thing out of all this is as long as you got paid a full game and not a half game.
Oh, believe me, that's happening.
And you may be getting double dip after this is all said and done, right?
And if they end up, if they replay the game and I get paid again, then heck, I hope they starts happening more often.
More rainouts.
If we could have 10 rainouts like halfway through the game. I still got my food last night and I got paid for being there. And then I got to go home and watch the second half of the Monday Night Football game. So it was all good.
It worked out well. So Savoie's he's rooting for more rainouts. So while the Hustle were dealing with the elements, but looking good, the Grizzlies, and they've looked good all 3 games, by the way, the Hustle. The Grizzlies, who haven't looked good here recently, and for the most part this season, looked really good last night. So they'll throw in the bad game stretch, which is understandable because of the team that's assembled. They're young, and they're trying to find their way, and they just lack talent a lot of times when they play the better talented teams in the NBA. But then they'll throw in a really good performance. And last night it was the case. It was the case where they were making shots. They were aggressive. Every time the Spurs made a run, they countered. And this was despite Ja Morant really, really struggling. Now, remember, he was coming off the game in which they rested him against Dallas on Saturday night. He played Friday in Orlando, but he did not play Saturday. So last night in San Antonio, 2 of 12 from the field, just 9 points, and he was a minus 15. And down the stretch, Ja Morant wasn't in there. Tyus Jones was in there, who had played well. But the Grizzlies were able to win the game 113-109, and Jaren Jackson Jr., and he's been somewhat maligned here early in the season, 38 minutes, What do you end up with? 24 points, I believe, because they had the three-pointer that was taken away when they went back to the replay for stepping out of bounds, which by the angle we saw on the broadcast on Fox Sports South, I don't know how you could tell his heel stepped on the line. But anyway, they 24 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 of 6 from 3. He was tremendous. Brandon Clark just continues to produce, and he's still limited on the minutes he's playing. 18 minutes, 14 points, and 8 rebounds. That was special. And they kind of ruined the Spurs' night because it was a night in which Tony Parker's jersey was retired. So the Grizzlies improved to 3-7. They get set for a away game tomorrow night in Charlotte. Then they're back home on Friday to welcome home Mike Conley and the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, I was listening to the game on my way home after the rainout, and they had obviously been playing well. And then at the end there, I don't remember exactly how much time was up, but when Spurs went up by 5, they made a little run. I think Rudy Gay hit a 3. They went up by 5, and I thought, well, hey, good effort, but once again, they're just hard for these young guys to close out games and all of that. We've seen the fourth quarter issues and all of that. Didn't think they had it in them, and got to give them a lot of credit to respond back. They scored, I believe, 8 in a row at that point in time, and then never gave up the lead. Great to see Jaren Jackson Jr. have a game like that, where he's able to, stay on the floor, which is good, 37 minutes, and only 2 fouls in those 37 minutes. Make threes, 4 of 6, 24 points, would have been 27 had he not stepped out of bounds on the other 3. 5 assists, 6 rebounds. The rebound number you'd like to see be a little bit better, but Jonas is doing a lot of that work, and Crowder with double digits in rebounds last night.
And Clark when he's in there.
It's just that was good to see. We needed to see one of those games out of Jaren Jackson Jr. Now the next step, I guess, is to see Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant both have a good game on the same night.
Right. Look, they're not a playoff team by any stretch of the imagination, even if both of them are playing really well. But what they are is exactly what we thought they could be. Competitive. They can be competitive in a lot of games when all these guys are playing well. Now, last night they were able to get a road win at San Antonio. It's not a great Spurs team. This isn't the Tim Duncan Spurs. A lot has changed. Yet they were able to do that with Ja Morant having an awful game. So you're absolutely right. When you have Ja and Jaren Jackson Jr. together playing well, along with everybody else, Jay Crowder I thought was solid last night. Again, Brandon Clark has been tremendous in his time so far with the Grizzlies. They got a pretty good game from Dylan Brooks. Tyus Jones stepped up where Ja Morant struggled, and it was a team win. So nice to see. These are the games that, even though they're not going to the playoffs and they're still a ways away, these are the kind of games that bring you in to the fold and want to watch this team, whether it be in person at home or watch them on television, or whether it be a road game or watching them on television, even at a home game, just to be able to put in a couple of hours to watch this team because they're going to be competitive. That's the kind of game that brings you back, the game they had last night in San Antonio.
When you said this is not the Tim Duncan Spurs, that may be the understatement of all time. I mean, when you're it's like almost like you got to take a step back for a second. I mean, these are the San Antonio Spurs starting Trey Lyles and Bryn Forbes. Yeah, not exactly Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan out there. It's they have DeMar DeRozan still fantastic. LaMarcus Aldridge, fantastic, but they're getting a little older. But, yeah, then the rest of that starting line, DeJounte Murray, who I like a lot, although he was he only played 19 minutes last night. But Bryn Forbes and Trey Lyles in the starting lineup, I was like, whoa, what is going on with these San Antonio Spurs?
Yeah, Trey Lyles, who started with Utah, was a cast-off from Denver, picked up by San Antonio, and like you said, in the starting lineup. So, yeah, it's not the Spurs teams we're used to seeing. But nonetheless, the Grizzlies normally lose in San Antonio, and to get the win last night, I thought that was good. Nice victory. Now they go to Charlotte. Charlotte's been playing better than I thought they would. I thought they could easily be the worst team in the NBA. That has not been the case so far early in the season. They've played pretty good basketball. And then Friday will be emotional when Mike Conley comes home with Utah and comes back to Memphis.
Yeah, should be a great night at FedEx Forum. The ovation that he will get, I would think, would be fantastic, and hopefully there's a big crowd there to welcome Mike back as well. That should be a good one.
A couple of things before we take the break from the world of baseball. Adam Wainwright, according to Bob Nightingale, has signed a 1-year contract with the St. Louis Cardinals. So Wainwright back in the fold for at least a season. And if you missed it yesterday, the Rookie of the Year award was handed out to Pete Alonso and to Yordan Alvarez. And no surprise either way, Pete Alonso set a rookie record for home runs. The Mets slugger hit 53 dingers. And Yordan Alvarez was tremendous for the Astros, their young first baseman. They have a great nucleus for many, many years to come, even though they came up a little short this year. So I don't think that was any surprise. Pretty much no-brainers.
Yeah, I didn't see the voting. Were they unanimous?
Alvarez was unanimous. I'm assuming Alonso was. I didn't see Alonso's vote total. I can't imagine who else got picked.
This is probably as easy a selection as they've had in some time. As far as both leagues go, there was no doubt who was winning those awards.
Right, and Alvarez was definitely unanimous. So. And he was tremendous, but Alonso was setting records, so I can't imagine others in the National League got votes over Alonso. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing home repair needs, your roofing and home repair needs. It's a simple call. Brandon McCullough, 901-438-5084, is the owner of the company, and his team of professionals can take care of your roof. They offer financing with many different plans and options, including a 6, 12, or 18-month same-as-cash option. They'll work with your insurance company or out of pocket. Their website is newroofmemphis.com. Check it out. They're part of the Roofs for Troops program. Of course, yesterday we celebrated Veterans Day. Any veteran, active or retired, you get a $250 rebate on the purchase of a new roof. Pinnacle does both residential and commercial roofing. So business owners and property managers, if you have a leak or any other roofing issue, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. Pinnacle is licensed, bonded, and insured, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. You get a $100 referral fee for all new roofs, 5-year labor warranty on all roofs, and satisfaction is always guaranteed. So, again, that's a 5-year labor warranty on all roofs. They can do all kinds of work around the home, carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters, put up shingles and fencing, siding, rotten wood repair, things you can't do on your own. If you can, great. If you can't, call the experts at Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. That's what I do. Quality work at a very, very reasonable price. Again, this is a locally owned and operated business. It's Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. Call Brandon McCullough today at 901-438-5084 or go online to newroofmemphis.com.
Again, we're at Landers Nissan today in South Haven, and we're here helping out the folks from Trinity Church with their Affordable Christmas campaign. And you can really help out. Anything you donate up until 1 o'clock today is going to be matched by Landers Nissan. You can do it by stopping by here at Landers Nissan, or you could just text Trinity to 77977. Text the word Trinity to 77977. Complete the form. Choose Affordable Christmas from the drop-down menu, and you can donate that easily. And all donations go to provide toys for participating families, and they are tax deductible. And again, if you do it by 1 o'clock today, Landers Nissan is going to match that donation, and they take your money. They go buy toys that they then give low-income families the opportunity to purchase for their kids for the holiday season at very, very discounted prices. So it gives those families still the opportunity to do Christmas shopping, to be empowered and buying stuff for their kids, but they're doing it at greatly reduced prices because of the help that you provide with the Affordable Christmas campaign. So again, text Trinity to 77977 or stop by and see us before 1 o'clock here at Landers Nissan. Again, donations will continue after today, but if you donate by 1 o'clock, Landers Nissan is matching all of your donations.
By the way, Pete Alonso not unanimous in the National League Rookie of the Year. Mike Soroka, I think, got a first-place vote. Fernando Tatis got a lot of support as well, but Alonso was still the runaway winner. But on the American League side, Yordan Alvarez was a unanimous winner. Okay, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whb.com.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
In today's evolving workplace, XMC understands the process of getting office work done has moved from the desktop to your pocket. The new Xerox multifunctional printers and Connect Key app technology are game changers. Are you working with confidential information? Does it need to be secure from unwanted threats? Do you need to translate documents to another language? Xerox's App Gallery provides solutions like secure printing and easy translator technology. XMC is the second largest exclusive Xerox agent in the U.S. with 9 locations to serve you. We've been in business for over 25 years and have received top awards from Xerox. In changing our world one experience at a time, our team's committed to doing what's right for your business. XMC is proud to be your leader in document and print management, and it'd be our pleasure to serve you. Contact XMC today at 888-814-3114 or visit our website at xmcinc.com. XMC, excellence in office solutions.
Mid-South Power Distributors is your source for all things diesel. Their newly renovated drive-in repair shop is open to the public. Whether it'll be your everyday driver, farm equipment, fleet vehicle, or heavy-duty truck, their ASE-certified technicians will get you back on the road. The on-site dyno is ready to run all the necessary diagnostic testing. From preventative maintenance to complete overhauls, Mid-South Power can handle it all. Stop in today at 3288 Mill Branch Road or call 901-396-0710 and online at mid-southpower.com.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays presented by FedEx.
Here once again
are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
Let's do it.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays, broadcasting live today from Landers Nissan in South Haven, Mississippi at 371 Goodman Road. The first hour of our program is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar Avenue between Mendenhall and St. Elmo. Call them at 901-767-9648. The website, gaddisjewelers.com.
And again, you can help out the folks at Trinity Church with the Affordable Christmas Program by donating today up until 1 o'clock. Landers Nissan will match your donation. You can do that here in person at Landers Nissan. Stop by here with cash or check, and they will take your donation. Or you can text Trinity to 77977. That's Trinity to 77977. Complete the form, choose Affordable Christmas from the drop-down menu. You can donate that easily over your phone. And again, as long as you do it by 1 o'clock today, Landers Nissan will match your donation.
Tigers tonight and the Oregon Ducks. We'll get into that in just 1 second. I did want to read a tweet from Tim Brando about the College Football Playoff Committee. Again, tonight will be week number 2 of their standings. The college football, this is his tweet, the College Football Playoff Committee has all their cronies on TV all day preparing everyone for Alabama privilege tonight. There's no doubt they'll drop only 1 or 2 spots. Committee will claim eye test and forget their non-conference schedule. An embarrassment! Exclamation point. I dropped them 5 spots.
So he's calling it an embarrassment before he even knows what exactly is going to happen.
Yes, he is.
That's
preemptive strike from Tim
embarrassment
Brando.
Call. The thing is, though, if you, and I could see, I don't know who he all dropped them behind. Comparing them to the other one-loss teams gets very interesting. It kind of goes by, then it becomes a what do you want to look at more, kind of who have you beaten or who have you lost to?
Right.
Because their loss, albeit at home, is to, by far, the best team of all of those. All these other one-loss teams that are up there lost to average teams at best. So it's like, yeah, they may have better wins than Alabama, but Alabama's loss is clearly better. And in the other games, Alabama has been completely dominant. So I can buy the argument either way, but I don't think it's an embarrassment if Alabama's the best of the one-loss teams.
It's not an embarrassment at all. Right. Again, it's week 2. Things are going to change. It doesn't matter in the long run, although we will discuss it tomorrow. Jerry Palm will join us, and we'll break it down. But think about it. Like you said, what are you looking at? The loss or the lack of prominent wins on your resume? Here's the thing. Alabama lost at home. LSU was in control pretty much of that game, but in the end, it was still a toe-to-toe game. It was Alabama and LSU going toe-to-toe, and LSU was the better team. LSU is by far right now, I would think in most people's mind, the best football team in the country. So who else are you throwing there in front of Alabama? Obviously, you have LSU. Obviously, you have Clemson. And you have Ohio State. They're the obvious ones. So let's look at the one-loss teams. Penn State just lost at Minnesota. We still don't know how good Minnesota is. Maybe in the end, this will be a really good loss, if there are such things, for Penn State.
See, that to me,
maybe they'll beat Ohio State. Who knows?
Minnesota is the curious thing to me is how far, now that they finally played a good team and beat them, how far up do they jump Minnesota when you had them at 17 last week? That's what I'm kind of the most curious about is how they treat Minnesota with finally getting a that type of win.
Well, look, they will jump up significantly, but you can't. What are you going to jump them into the top 4? They looked at last week's resume and they said Minnesota, with everything, we are going to put them at number 17. So there wasn't a lot of respect for Minnesota. Then they beat Penn State at home. Well, maybe Penn State's a little bit overrated when it all comes down to it, and that's what Barrett Salee said on the show yesterday, and I concur. So you can't throw them all of a sudden into the top 4. Now you're talking Minnesota undefeated versus Alabama with 1 loss. Again, I think in time we will know. But right now for this week, even though Alabama has the 1 loss, it's to LSU. And I still think, even though they don't have as good a win as a win that Minnesota has over Penn State, that they should be below Minnesota. Nobody right now is going to say that they know for sure that Minnesota is a really good football team. They got a really good win. Alabama, again, doesn't have this great resume. But they went toe-to-toe with LSU, and they're the best team right now in the nation, even though it was a home loss. What about Georgia? Georgia lost to South Carolina, which just lost to Appalachian State. What about Oklahoma? Oklahoma should have more than one loss. They got lucky. The guy dropped it in the end zone on the 2-point conversion, or Iowa State would have beaten them. And remember, Iowa State rolled the dice. They went for the 2 instead of trying to kick the extra point and go to overtime. They have had some close calls, close shaves, but they still have the one loss. What about Oregon and Utah? I don't know. Oregon lost to Auburn to start the season. Alabama will play Auburn, so we'll see in the Iron Bowl. But we're only talking about tonight and what they've done to this point. So I can see Alabama outside the top 4, certainly, no question. Or if they're not going to be higher than 4, but I can see them outside of it. But if they're at number 4 tonight, I don't think it's some conspiracy or some major issue with college football or go on a rant like Brando has gone on. Again, compare them to these other one-loss teams.
I think at this point, if I was in the room, I would say Alabama should be number 4. And
I think there's a good chance they will be tonight.
Because I would say, and again, I know they don't have the great wins, but I would say any of these teams right now play LSU. LSU's probably beating them the way LSU's playing. So I'm not, and they have been dominant in the other games against the lesser opponents. They haven't had the close calls and things like that. They have been completely dominant. And then they played a great LSU team, and they lost a close game. So I have no problem with them being at number 4. I mean, Georgia, again, Georgia is a home loss to I guess call them average, but you could even say a below average team that you lost at home to.
They're not going to a bowl unless they beat Clemson.
I mean, that's Georgia's loss is bad. You know, Oklahoma's is to Kansas State, which is average.
Right.
To maybe a little above average team.
And again, close shaves also in a couple of other games.
But I mean, who is, if you're going to say Oregon, well, who's Oregon beaten that is so great?
Right. All of a sudden now we're going to make the Pac-12 look like it's better than what it is.
Where are their quality wins? Where are Utah's great quality wins? So I'd have no problem with Alabama being at number 4, and I think that's probably where they will be. I think that's probably where they should be at this point. And then they're going to get a chance to get one decent win, basically, against Auburn. That's it. They're going to be, I think it will be, as we talked about yesterday, it's very tough for them, I think, unless getting some help, to hold on to a spot in the top 4, because they're just not the games ahead of them to really prove themselves. But it'll probably, at the end of the year, it's going to come down to the whole thing of what exactly is the committee trying to do. Are they looking for the 4 best teams, or are they looking for the 4 teams that deserve the playoff? That's what it will come. The semantics of that will be what they'll go by one way or another.
Well, the 4 best teams are subjective. The thing is, with the 4 most deserving teams, at least you're looking at a resume. You're looking at what they have accomplished this season. I still think it should be the 4 best teams, but then you're putting all your faith in the people on that committee to come up with the 4 best teams.
Well, and they have said, see, what they say is they're looking for the 4 best teams. I don't think you should be looking for the 4 best teams, because then what do we play the season for? Because I could have told you before the season started, at the end of the year, Alabama will be looked at as one of the 4 best teams in the nation.
Right.
No matter what they do.
Right.
Like, people are going to go, well, look at their talent. They're one of the 4 best. I think you have to look at the 4 teams that deserve spots in the playoffs based on what they did that season.
Okay. Another tweet I wanted to read. This person is not a famous person like Tim Brando, but it leads me into our next subject about Tigers hoops. This comes from somebody named Sarah Shepard. She said, "We are Memphis men's basketball season ticket holders. Am I considered a booster? I'm trying to figure out if I can buy fruit snacks and Capri Suns for my 7-year-old's basketball team in case any of them end up wanting to play at the University of Memphis in 2031. Hashtag NCAA, hashtag Go Tigers Go." Of course, we're all on pins and needles around here about the whole James Wiseman story, which we talked an awful lot about yesterday on the program, and we'll continue to talk about it. The hearing is scheduled for next Monday as they look for a permanent injunction for Wiseman to play this entire season. Right now, he is going to play tonight. He is expected to play Saturday against Alcorn State, and then we'll see what happens next Monday at the hearing. But tonight it's all about basketball, and the Tigers, they'll be on the court in Portland to take on the Oregon Ducks. It is considered a neutral court, although the game's in Oregon, so this is basically an away game for Memphis. They have been there since Sunday night. They are acclimated to their surroundings. They visited the Nike headquarters yesterday. I think Nike and Penny have a relationship. Remind me, is that true? I think I've heard that.
He may have made some money from Nike.
Something like that, point. Right? I read something about that. But anyway, as far as the game is concerned, look, Oregon's had their issues with the NCAA about players that were not granted eligibility. Chandler Lawson is a local connection to Memphis on that Oregon roster, playing for the Ducks, coming off the bench here early in the season. And, of course, tonight the Tigers come in having played 2 games and having won both those games quite easily. James Wiseman was named the American Conference Freshman of the Week. He was also named the Lute Olson National Player of the Week. So getting conference awards and getting national awards is one James Wiseman, the big ticket, the unicorn. And tonight it's number 13 versus number 14, with the Tigers being the higher-rated team. Your thoughts on what to expect tonight?
Well, it's funny. Ken Palm, by the way, lists this as a semi-away game for Memphis.
Semi-away game.
So which is
new category.
Which is perfect. It's 2 teams that are, in a lot of ways, opposites when you look at the roster. All of the leading scorers for Oregon and their starting lineup are seniors, graduate transfers. Like they are loaded with guys who are veterans. Matter of fact, in the game notes for the Memphis, they had the great stat. These 2 starting fives, the 2 projected, assumed starting fives for tonight. Oregon's starting 5 have a combined 2,979 career points. Memphis's have 121. So a difference of 2,800 career points between the 2 starting 5s. But I mean, you're looking at senior, graduate transfer, and a JUCO kid, JUCO transfer, as the starting 5 basically for Oregon. Now they do have some young kids. They have freshmen that come off the bench. They've only played 9 guys so far on the season. It is freshmen and sophomores for the most part coming off the bench, but they are a very experienced starting 5 against obviously a Memphis starting 5 that is all freshmen. So 2 completely different teams. Peyton Pritchard is outstanding. He's averaging 21 points per game on the year so far. This is obviously going to be a very tough test, and we kind of get a good barometer of, okay, what is this Memphis team right now? It's still going to get a lot better when these guys get more experience, but just an early test with all of this talent, with these guys this young, what are they right now? I think tonight we see that.
That's the big question going into the season, the youth and the chemistry, right? We know the talent's there, but the inexperience. Who, when push comes to shove, is going to be that vocal leader on the court for the Tigers? Is there one? It looks like, at least at last game, Lance Thomas and Alex Lomax were the captains before the game that met at center court with the captains for Illinois Chicago. I'm not sure if that'll be the case again tonight, but it could possibly be. They are, I guess, veterans when you think about this young team, and it's not like they've been around a long time. So who's going to step up when there's a crisis? And they're going to be in a very competitive game tonight. I think the experience from Oregon certainly gives them the edge, the fact that the game's in Oregon. But don't count out the Tigers in that dominating front line. With Wiseman, I think Achua is going to really be the beneficiary of Wiseman if teams really try to do as much as they can to limit James Wiseman and double down on him with double teams and things of that nature. I think Achua can really be the beneficiary. So I would not be surprised whatsoever if you see a really, really good performance tonight and you go, wow, the chemistry's already there, and they showed no nerves from the youth of this team, from the inexperience of the team. Then again, if Oregon won this thing by 8 to 10 points, I wouldn't be surprised either because, like you said, it is still a process in the making for this team, which is expected to be much better come January, February, March, and April than it is going to be right now. That just comes with the territory.
And Oregon like everybody else in the country, does not have the size to match up with Memphis.
Right, and that's what I like. That's why I really think the Tigers could win this game. Bryce Thompson, by the way, 5-star product, has picked Kansas. He will commit to Kansas. Obviously, he doesn't sign a scholarship yet, but he has committed to play for the Kansas Jayhawks. He said, I am aware of the controversy currently surrounding Kansas. It did concern me a bit at the beginning until I went on my visit and I was able to talk face-to-face with some of the administration, including Athletic Director Jeff Long. My mom doesn't play. She asked every question in the book. Mr. Long was able to answer them directly and stayed on point. He didn't veer off into some other conversation. I appreciated that. I was going to say something crude here, but I decided not to say that. We will take a break. We are broadcasting live from Landers Nissan in South Haven, 371 Goodman Road. We're here for the Affordable Christmas Campaign. Anything that you can donate today, folks, via stopping by and dropping off some money, or by doing it by texting Trinity to 77977 and completing the form, choosing Affordable Christmas from the drop-down menu. Any money you can give between the next 2.5 hours will be matched by Landers. So please help out and make it a bright Christmas for everybody, because everybody deserves to have that beautiful Christmas, and kids certainly deserve to open up presents under the tree. Every single child. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Sports Time with Rollo and Stats. Every weekday afternoon from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Upgrade your commute at Acura of Memphis. Seize the thrill and test drive one of our award-winning models, each packed with cutting-edge technology, luxurious amenities, and a driving experience that's sure to awaken your inner self. Driving shouldn't be a chore, it should be an adventure. Advance your drive today. Shop our aggressive lease and finance options now. Luxury is waiting at Acura Memphis, or shop online 24/7. Visit AcuraofMemphis.com.
If it's time for a new gun, rifle, or silencer, Tactical Guns and Gear in Collierville on Highway 72 is the best place to go. I promise they have the newest, most exciting selection of guns and silencers you could ever want. I don't care if you shoot for fun, hunt, or just need a gun for personal protection, Tactical Guns and Gear has the best selection of firearms around. The only one-stop silencer shop in Tennessee. In less than 10 minutes, they do all the paperwork. Take your photo, originate gun trust, take your prints electronically, and the best part, you never have to scan them again. Yes, silencers are legal. No special licensing, just a simple background check. Silencers don't make your firearm silent. They simply reduce noise for more enjoyable shooting. Help protect against hearing loss. Reduce recoil. It makes you more accurate. Best silencer place in the entire state of Tennessee, right here in Collierville. For all things guns and gear, ask for Jake or Jim at Tactical Guns and Gear and tell them Eli says hi. Online at tacticalgunsandgear.com.
This year, the Home Depot can help bring the holidays home for free with free delivery on online holiday decor like artificial Christmas trees, big, small, white lights, or multicolored. 140 varieties. Pick one out and we'll deliver it. Over the river, through the woods, right to your door for free. Free delivery on online holiday decor, only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only. See store for details.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
What would you like to be better at? Dancing.
Poker.
Yoga. According to a study, CVS customers are better than most at something important, staying on prescriptions, which tends to make you healthier. So get a free prescription savings review. Plus, earn up to 50 extra bucks rewards each year for filling. Because of the things you could be better at, staying healthy tops them all. Treat yourself well at CVS. Terms and conditions apply. Not all prescriptions eligible. See our pharmacist or cvs.com/rx savings or /rx rewards.
Pop Wigington has been in the restaurant business since the 70s and has now brought 3 generations of family favorites together under one roof at Pop's Comfort Kitchen, 2990 Kirby Whitten Parkway next to Kroger. Pop's takes you back to a simpler time when food and life was more wholesome. Settle down today for lunch or dinner at Pop's with daily specials like country fried steak, fried catfish, chicken and dumplings, or Pop's famous fried chicken livers, all served up with your choice of 23 fresh vegetables like field peas and snaps, seasoned green beans, sweet corn and turnip greens. Hungry for a sandwich? Check out the Chuck, a hand-patted cheeseburger between 2 grilled cheese buns topped with lettuce, tomato, diced onion, pickles, fried egg, and bacon. Or a half-pound flat iron steak sandwich served on Texas toast. Don't forget one of Grandma's homemade desserts like chess pie or banana pudding. Take comfort today at Pop's Comfort Kitchen, 2990 Kirby Whitten Parkway next to Kroger. Pop's Comfort Kitchen.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays presented by FedEx.
Here once again
are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays. First hour of the program is also brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar Avenue between Mendenhall and St. Elmo, your bridal, engagement, and anniversary jeweler headquarters. We are broadcasting live today from Landers Nissan, 371 Goodman Road in South Haven, Mississippi. By the way, the Tigers are a 3-point underdog tonight against the Oregon Ducks in the Phil Knight Invitational. It's at 8 o'clock tip. The game will be broadcast on ESPN.
It's when you look at these two teams, they're so far. Again, we're only 2 games into the year, and Oregon has played Fresno State and Boise State. Better competition than South Carolina State and UIC, but certainly not great. There are a lot of similarities. One thing that stands out about Oregon is, like Memphis, they've been very efficient offensively, but they shoot, for today's game especially, like they just don't shoot many threes. They are 310th in the country as far as the percentage of field goal attempts that are from 3.
Interesting.
But they're shooting 43.8% from there. Like they're shooting them great, but they just don't bomb away from 3. And now Memphis doesn't shoot a ton either. They're at 31.7% of their attempts are threes, which is 148th in the country. But Oregon, again, 310th. There is one guy for Oregon, Anthony Mathis, who's their second leading scorer, 19.5 points per game. He is so far in the year 9 for 13 from 3-point range.
So they got a bombardier on that team.
So when you're shooting 69% from 3-point range, that's pretty good. But they've only made 14 threes as a team. He's got 9 of them. So he is clearly the guy you got to watch from 3-point range. But both teams are shooting. Oregon on the year shooting nearly 56%. The Tigers are shooting over 56% from the field on the year. Both teams. The Tigers are at 42.6% from 3, Oregon 43.8. I mean, they have been very efficient offensive teams, both of them have.
Do you by any chance have fast break points right there in those stats? Because the highlights I've watched so far of Oregon, I haven't watched either of their game live, but I saw highlights. It seemed like they were just getting up and down the court like Memphis likes to do. Run the court, get fast breaks, and then you could shoot a high percentage when you're getting layups.
I do not have their fast break points, but I can tell you that they are not playing fast. They are 246th in tempo.
So I wonder, their front line
Memphis is 14th.
So their front line is probably dominant through the first 2 games against inferior competition, Fresno and Boise, although, like you said, better competition than South Carolina State and Illinois, Chicago, I would imagine. But now they're going up against a big front line that blocks shots, that rebounds, that defends. So I wonder if we'll see Dana Altman kind of push it a little bit more, or maybe even take more threes because of the defense, the defensive line, the back line that they're going to face in Wiseman and Achua.
I mean, the 2 guards, Pritchard and Mathis, who are their 2 leading scorers. I mean, Pritchard shooting 60% from the field. Mathis shooting nearly 78% from the field. I mean, I don't know, if there's going to be any change in style or whatever, but Dane Altman's a heck of a coach, and they've again, it's a very veteran-laden, backcourt-driven team.
All right, come on out and see us here at Landers Nissan, 371 Goodman Road in South Haven. Once again, Landers will match any donation you make during our show for the Affordable Christmas Campaign, and that empowers low-income families with the opportunity to purchase gifts at an affordable cost for the holidays. So please help out whichever way you can do, whether it's dropping something off here during our show or texting in your donation. We'll tell you more about that when we kick off Hour 2. We got Humdinger's Trivia on the way. That will start our second hour of the program. Then we'll get into the NFL, our Week 10 recap, including a wild one last night on Monday Night Football. And what does Sportsline say about the odds of who will be the next head coach at the University of Arkansas? We'll discuss that. Steve Macy from the University of Memphis will join us at 11:25. And then in the noon hour, Don Wade with the dish. Connor O'Gara from SaturdayDownSouth.com on college football. So much more to get to. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
For over 25 years, Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 has been bringing you great local sports talk. With 13 hours of local talk daily, we continue to be Memphis's local sports leader. The day starts with Keith Parker and Elliot Wender on the Press Box from 6 to 7, followed by the Peter Edmiston Experience with C.J. Hurst from 7 to 10. Sports 56 Middays with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie takes you through lunch from 10 until 1. And then, John Harden brings you Johnny Radio's Happy Hour from 1 to 3. Dave Woloshin and Brett Norsworthy drive you home every afternoon with Sports Time with Wolo and Stats from 3 till 6. And John Rennie wraps up the day with Southern Sports Report from 6 to 7 before we turn things over to Fox Sports Radio to get you through the evening. We also bring you Ole Miss sports, NFL football, and the NCAA basketball tournaments. Don't miss anything. Keep your radio locked in right here on Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Dirt happens, as well as debris, dust, and damage. And when they happen to you, you need good, clean, fast service. You need Hilo Commercial Services. Hilo specializes in construction, commercial, food plant, and industrial cleaning with customized service just for you. Hilo is also an expert at high dusting to clean hard-to-reach places. When dirt happens, call Hilo Commercial Services, 901-277-6733, or visit HiloCommercial.com. Hilo Commercial Services, good, clean, and fast for you.
For over 8 decades, America's farmers have counted on the Little Red Tractor from Case IH, the Farm All, to help them make short work of their demanding chores. Well, Mid-South Ag Equipment can show you they aren't just for farms anymore. With horsepower ranging from 30 to 105, plus an army of attachments, these tractors can tackle every chore on your to-do list. Call 662-890-3141 or stop in today to find a Case IH Farm All that's right for you.
Time to put up the tree.
Funny thing about the holidays is, nothing flies by faster.
Time for family photos. Time to cut the turkey. Time to open gifts. Time to take down the tree. Happy New Year!
Well, actually, the Lexus December to Remember sales event also goes by fast. That's because for a very limited time, you'll find some of our best offers on our most popular models. But don't wait. Offers end January 2nd. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Lexus of Memphis. Need physical therapy but don't know where to go? Tried physical therapy but had a bad experience? Grab your physician's referral and head to Revolution Physical Therapy at the corner of Goodman and Getwell. At Revolution PT, you'll get one-on-one, hands-on therapy. Better and more thorough than just going to the gym. Revolution is locally owned and staffed by neighbors who care about your maximum recovery. And they accept all major insurances. Certified in dry needling, expert in myofascial release. Always relaxed and friendly. Revolution Physical Therapy is just what you need.
Pop the top on your next party. 34 North Cocktails. Available in Memphis now. Great for football grove parties, around the hunting campfire, and when you get home, entertain friends. Pop a premium can of Barrel Thief. Tastes just like an old-fashioned Barrel Thief made with aged bourbon, bitters, a hint of orange, a touch of vanilla, 15% ABV. Then, for you vodka lovers, try Sneaky Pucker, a refreshing lemonade premium vodka cocktail, 12.5% ABV. Made with super premium vodka, lavender, simple syrup, and lemonade. Delicious and smooth. Let the party begin with 34 North Cocktails.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays presented by FedEx. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by Gold Strike Casino and Resort in Tunica. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays, broadcasting live today from Landers Nissan at 371 Goodman Road in South Haven, Mississippi. Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie on location. Gabe Kuhn back in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of Interstate 40. Sports 56 Middays delivered each and every day by our title and presenting sponsor. All the terrific folks at the FedEx Corporation. Make the most out of your e-commerce experience by finding insights and inspiration from other small business owners. You can learn more at fedex.com/e-commerce. Also, the second hour of the program brought to you by the Gold Strike Casino Resort and the new Moneyline Book Bar and Grill.
And here at Landers Nissan today, again, we're asking you to help out the folks at Trinity Church with their affordable Christmas program. Any donations in the next 2 hours up until 1 o'clock are going to be matched by Landers Nissan. And you can either donate by coming by here to Landers Nissan with cash or check and giving it to the folks from Trinity Church, or you can text in. All you got to do is text the word Trinity to 77977. That's 77977. Text Trinity. Complete the form there. Choose Affordable Christmas from the drop-down menu. It's that easy to donate. And again, if you do it that way, anyway, any donation you make before 1 o'clock, the folks at Landers Nissan are going to match that. And the folks from Trinity Church, they have partnered with area elementary schools, and they then give low-income families a chance to purchase gifts for their kids for the holidays at extreme discounts because of the donations that you're able to give. So let's folks have a happy holiday season. Gives them the chance to still do that Christmas shopping, get in the empowerment of being able to buy gifts for their kids, but do it in an affordable way that they otherwise would not be able to. So if you can, please help out. And again, if you can do it before 1 o'clock today, it's even better because that will be doubled by the fact that Landers Nissan is going to match that donation.
And it's 11 o'clock. That means time for a little Humdingers trivia.
That's right. It is your opportunity to win a $25 gift card to Humdingers. If you can answer today's question correctly, you answer it via text at 67129. 67129 is the text number to answer the question correctly with that $25 gift card to Humdingers. Of course, you could go on over there and enjoy some great food. On Tuesdays, like today, that means Taco Tuesday with the $2 chicken and fish tacos. But every day, of course, the tacos are always on the menu, but you've got all kinds of great options. The grilled fish options like the tilapia or the rainbow trout or the mahi-mahi, crispy fish and chips, the chicken with the crispy chicken tenders or the boneless breast, salads and sandwiches, the tacos I mentioned, all kinds of great options, very healthy options, and very inexpensive options over at Humdingers at Poplar and Massey. Again, the winner of our Humdingers trivia question will get a $25 gift card. Here's today's question, which I see. This is sometimes we just I gotta see if you're paying attention. I actually answered this question for you on the show yesterday. So if you were listening yesterday and you were paying attention, you already know the answer to this question. Here is the question. Lamar Jackson against the Bengals on Sunday put together his second game this year with a perfect passer rating of 158.3. He becomes just the second quarterback ever to have multiple games in one season with a perfect passer rating. Who was the other to do it? Text in 67129. First to get it right gets the $25 gift card to Humdingers. Who was the other quarterback who Lamar Jackson joined this week to have 2 games in a single season with a perfect passer rating?
All right, good question. We're going to get to the NFL in just a second. This is kind of cool, this tweet from the creator of Bluff City Law. And I'm not sure if you pronounce his last name Jaguaris or Jaguaris, but anyway, he has tweeted out for all you NBC Bluff City Law fans, and I watched the episode last night, another very good episode, and it continues to showcase Memphis. Some of the scenery is terrific. They're showing places I haven't even been to. I don't even know where they are, and I know they film in Memphis. Anyway, he tweets out, if people continue to find the show like they are, a season 2 is very, with the very V-E-R-Y letters capitalized, possible. That's the update from him. The last couple of weeks, the numbers have been up, and it doesn't hurt that the Voice's lead-in is really strong with they're now into the elimination round and the live shows and things of that nature, but it doesn't matter. They're in a good time slot. They're picking up instead of going down, and there's a chance it will return. I hope it will. Again, it sheds a great positive light for our city of Memphis.
Again, a lot of people want Elijah and Sydney to take on the NCAA on behalf of James Wiseman. So
well, you know they'd win. Because their track record's pretty good.
Yeah, but their only loss was against the NCAA.
Yeah, but they'd even up that record, wouldn't they? Come on. They're going to be at least 500 against the NCAA.
Well, now here's the one caveat of that. Technically, the case against the NCAA, Elijah was not part of that. That was Sydney on her own because Elijah was dealing with the other part of that lawsuit.
There you go.
So if you get Elijah and Sydney together against the NCAA, then maybe they can take them down. But I don't know.
Together, they're unbeatable. They haven't lost, have they?
If Leslie Ballin can't do it, I don't know if anybody can.
And one other thing about the Tigers game tonight against Oregon, did you see the video, or at least the photos yesterday, of the T-shirts that they were wearing, the Tigers? At least I think it was the back of James Wiseman I saw, but I assume all the Tigers were wearing them. It was basically shirts with a Memphis target on the back.
Yes.
And when I saw that, I think I tweeted out, wow, just right in the face of the NCAA, there is no backing down. The whole Memphis versus everybody, whoever the first person was to say that, is so apropos because that's the way it feels and seems. Memphis versus everybody. And
by the way, technically last night, they did take down the Department of Defense. I would think the Department of Defense is more powerful than the NCAA, right?
Yes. So you watched it too.
So the more I think about it, if you could take down if you could take out the Department of Defense, certainly you could win a battle against the NCAA.
You would think. Again, it's Elijah.
The NCAA
baby.
does not have any missiles or anything. So if you could take down the Department of Defense, you got to be able to get Mark Emmert and gang.
But those T-shirts, were you a little surprised by them or not?
No, because this is the attitude Penny has brought, and they don't and now the whole university clearly from President Rudd down has adopted that they don't care. They are going all in against the NCAA. Seems like they are not backing down off of this. They are ready to battle the NCAA.
And it seems like it is a subject, a topic that has turned everybody on that cares anything about athletics and about those student athletes to say something, and most of it being a positive thing, that Memphis is doing the right thing, that they are standing up to the bullies, to the NCAA. Everybody seems to have an opinion. And now when you start to listen to the so-called experts, whether it be attorneys who have dealt with this before or some of the basketball pundits who are in the know and some people that have been in either the NCAA, the administration, most of the comments are something that we kind of discussed yesterday, that it's kind of archaic. It's very vague in the definition of a booster and things of that nature. But I think most of the people that I have heard or have read that have written on this or have talked about this continue to feel that Memphis is still climbing uphill. in this battle against the NCAA?
Well, yeah, because, I mean, it's just we have seen that, most people don't even try and take on the challenge because it's something that's very difficult to try and win. But there's no doubt that the public opinion across the country is on the side of the Memphis Tigers. It's quite, if you want to get the public on your side, battle the NCAA, you'll do that immediately. I mean, the NCAA right now is probably got as much negative, feelings towards them as any time they've ever had. And there's now, because of these states passing the whole law with the name, image, and likeness stuff, there's a momentum building of, like, wait a second, maybe we can kind of take down the NCAA. And so if you want to get the court of public opinion on your side, just pick a fight with the NCAA right now. You're going to have everybody behind you. Nobody is willing to jump behind the NCAA in any fight right now. They are clearly going against them.
Last night, Monday Night Football, a wild one in San Francisco, where the Seahawks defeat the 49ers in the final seconds of overtime, 27-24 to improve to 8-2. The Niners, with their first loss, that means every team has at least one loss. And you know what that means. Mercury Morris certainly popped open the bubbly last night. Jason Myers, a 42-yard game-winning field goal. And that was minutes after Chase McLaughlin, the rookie kicker, signed this week by the Niners for the injured Robbie Gould, missed a potential game-winning 47-yarder with 3:06 to play. He had hit the field goal to send the game into overtime. But it culminates a wild week in the NFL, and despite 6 teams that had byes, Denver, Houston, Jacksonville, New England, Philadelphia, and Washington, there was a lot going on in the NFL this weekend, Eli, with a bunch of the teams at the bottom pulling off upsets, surprises after surprises, and some great games that went down to the wire, and then some.
That game last night was great. That overtime. You talk about some swing of emotions. Looks like Seattle's going to march right down the field, win the game with a touchdown. And Russell Wilson has the guy, like it looks like as he's releasing the ball, like, oh, there's the touchdown, game over. Underthrows it just a little bit, gets picked off by Dre Greenlaw, the former Arkansas Razorback. At least Arkansas Razorbacks have something to cheer about right now. Gets the great return. Then you think, oh, wow, this is unbelievable. Now San Francisco is going to win the game because of, what was not a terrible throw, but just if he just threw it a little further.
You underthrew him.
You get a touchdown, and they have the first loss. Now it's okay. They're going to win the game. And then that rookie kicker just – that's as close to a shank, if it's not a shank, as you'll see. Ball landing in the tunnel. Pretty sure it's not supposed to land in the tunnel. And then you give Russell.
Did the kid from Tulsa text him after the game?
He might think the kid from Tulsa, like, hey, I still got a chance to kick in the NFL. And then you give Russell Wilson the second chance, and he just did his thing, and he makes the one long run, sets them up, and it was that. But man, that was. For Seattle, Seattle's offense didn't do hardly anything all night, but the turnovers, they got the touchdown and they got another turnover to give themselves great field position. They didn't do much, but they did enough and found a way to get the win, which we said yesterday that I thought Mercury Morris would pop the champagne.
And I agree with you.
I was debating at one point last night, if they tie, does he still get to pop the champagne?
Yes.
Because they're still undefeated.
It was a perfect season. And that wouldn't be perfect.
But it's an undefeated season.
It is an undefeated season. Remember, New England had the undefeated season and lost in the Super Bowl. But this would be a blemish because it would be a tie. So, yes, they could still stake claim to the undefeated season, but I think what Mercury Morris always says is the perfect season. And having a blemish of a tie would mean that I think he would pop open the bubbly.
But I mean, for their sake, I'm all for them popping it open one way or another. I didn't know for sure what the rules of the Mercury Morris stupid celebrations are.
It's not stupid. It's Mercury Morris, man, clinging on to the past. I love those Miami Dolphins teams, man, with Morris and Greasy and Zonka and Kick. But I said yesterday on the show that after Lamar Jackson's performance on Sunday, I would have to see what Russell Wilson did Monday night to jump back ahead of Jackson in my two-man battle for most valuable player right now, ahead of the Aaron Rodgers of the world and Deshaun Watsons and others. But I think he did. Even though he threw that pick, he redeemed himself. And I think Wilson right now, because Seattle won that game, inches ahead of Lamar Jackson for me. But it's incredible to watch these quarterbacks when they are at the top of their game, and Russell Wilson is incredibly good. He is a great leader. And Lamar Jackson, for a young quarterback, doing what he did. Of course, Baltimore got a big victory over the weekend on Sunday, and Lamar Jackson was just tremendous. They blew out Cincinnati. I mean, absolutely massacred them, 49-13. But you look at this NFC West, San Francisco 8-1, Seattle 8-2, and don't count out the Rams if they can get red hot at 5-4, although they have been kind of trying to figure out themselves. They lose to Pittsburgh 17-12 over the weekend. Suddenly Pittsburgh's won a couple in a row over the Colts and the Rams, and they're 5-4. But that NFC West, that's a gauntlet right there.
Yeah, judging by the Rams' performance Sunday, I think you can count the Rams out in that division. That was terrible. Jared Goff, I don't know what the heck was going on there. Cooper Kupp didn't have a catch in the game.
No, it was awful.
Just a strange day for the Rams.
It was awful, but I'm not counting them out yet. I'm not counting out Sean McVay. But San Francisco, Seattle, got to be two of the top 4 or 5 teams right now in the National Football League. But we had a lot of upsets over the weekend, but we also had a classic. I was very fortunate to watch the Tennessee-Kansas City game and last night's Seattle-San Francisco game, maybe the two best games of the weekend. That Tennessee game was incredible. And Kansas City now, with that loss to the Titans, they fall to 6-4. And they got Oakland on their heels at 5-4. Chargers aren't out of it at 4-6. Even Denver at 3-6. I mean, that's very tight in the AFC West. But that was a great win for the Tennessee Titans. And really the tightest division of all is the AFC South. Houston 6-3, Indy 5-4 with 2 straight horrible losses. Tennessee now 5-5, and Jacksonville 4-5.
Yeah, obviously the Chiefs need to work on some field goal stuff this week, but they had the bad snap that led to the intentional grounding on the first one, and then the second, the blocked field goal. I'm telling you, man, that's as good a jump for a defensive player as you will ever.
Without going offside, right?
Watching it live, I was like, he clearly is offsides. Like, he was just offside. And then even watching the replay, he moves so much faster than everybody else, you think he had to be offsides. But if you see, there's a lot of people that did still photos of the frame by frame, and he does it. It is so perfectly timed. It's unbelievable to think how quickly he moves compared to everybody else reacting to the snap of that football.
Speaking of close plays, Green Bay gets the win over Carolina 24-16 with the goal line stand at the end. There was snow on the field. It was tough to tell. When I watched it, I thought McCaffrey was in. I thought his offensive lineman pushed him in, broke the plane. They said no, and the Packers get a huge victory to go to 8-2.
No, the funny thing about that play was his offensive lineman did the right thing in trying to grab him and pull him with him, but by doing the way the offensive lineman grabbed him
down?
Well, he wrapped his arms up. If McCaffrey could have extended the football, he would have gotten in, but he couldn't extend the football because the offensive lineman had his arms wrapped around McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So McCaffrey couldn't get his arm free to extend the football because he came down on top of guys, so he wasn't on the ground, but the offensive lineman is holding him like in a way that he can't get his arm free to extend the football. And that's all he had to do because it was close, but he just couldn't extend the football to get it across the line.
Looks like a 2-team race in the NFC North. The Pack now 8-2, as I mentioned. Minnesota 7-3 after knocking off your Cowboys 28-24. So your Cowboys at 5-4, my Colts at 5-4. Who's got the better chance to make the postseason?
Well, the Cowboys are leading the division still, so they've got.
Yeah,
the
that's right.
chance.
They play in such a sorry division.
That game.
That's true.
Their play calling, it's just they do some stupid stuff that I still it drives me absolutely insane. It's clear all night that all Minnesota's doing, they're not going to let Ezekiel Elliott beat them. They are loading up like they're not going to. You've got receivers running open all night long. the passing game, doing whatever you want to do. Guys are wide open. Final drive of the game, guys are wide open. You're picking them apart. You get down there. You have an 8-yard pass play on first down. Second down and 2. You hand it off to Zeke. Okay, well, you wanted to try and surprise them. They've been, okay, that's it. Then third down, they hand it back to Zeke. And now you lose a couple of yards. And then on fourth down, they try and throw the ball to Zeke. You've got receivers that have been running wide open. Amari Cooper, they haven't guarded all night. They can't guard Randall Cobb. They can't guard any of your receivers. They haven't been able to guard them all night long. In 3 straight plays on from 2nd and 2 to 3rd and 2 to 4th and 4, you try 2 handoffs and a little out pattern to Zeke Elliott rather than one of your receivers, who that's what they get paid to do is catch the football.
That's Kellen Moore calling those plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your boy Zeke, though.
I love Zeke, but clearly Minnesota shown they weren't going to let Zeke beat them. And so just if you're – the receivers were running wide open all night long. Like they could do whatever they wanted in the passing game. And for some reason – and the thing is, even on the first handoff, if Dak would have kept it himself, he probably would have scored a touchdown. But I don't understand. You march literally, 80 yards or whatever, right down the field, picking apart the passing game, and then you get to a 2nd and 2. And down there, heck, you could have. The first play I'd have done was a shot at the end zone, but they're trying to hand it off and run outside, and it's some weird stuff.
Well, here's the thing, and you're right. The Dallas is in first place because actually they're tied with the Eagles, but they beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
But they're 5-4, both these teams. And you look around the NFC, and the NFC East is not going to produce 2 teams. So you got a battle between Dallas and Philly for one spot because Minnesota's got a gaudy record right now from the NFC North. You have Seattle in the NFC West, so you got wild card team. Now, a long way to go still, but other teams, like I said, I still don't count out the Rams. The Colts, in the meantime, they got to figure it out because Hoyer's horrible. He threw 3 picks. When is Brissett coming back? They've lost 2 in a row. To lose to Miami, that's incredible, to lose to Miami. So if Hoyer's losing to Miami, I'd get Chad Kelly ready. I'd get somebody else in there because Hoyer's not the answer if Brissett can't go. The thing is with Indy, they're only a game behind Houston, and it's a very jammed-up AFC South. Tennessee's 5-5, Jacksonville's 4-5, and you're going to play each other. So I still think there's a chance there, but unless they get figured out. Look, I said when Andrew Luck retired that they still have a great chance to go to the playoffs with Jacoby Brissett. I didn't think they were a Super Bowl team, but they could still get to the postseason. Without Jacoby Brissett, they are not a playoff team.
Still do not have a correct answer for Humdinger's trivia question. Again, for a $25 gift card to Humdingers. Lamar Jackson, with his perfect passer rating on Sunday, that was his 2nd game this year with a perfect passer rating, who is the only other quarterback to have 2 games in the same season with a perfect passer rating. I will tell you it is not Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady.
Hope you folks had a chance last night if you went down to Tunica to go to the Gold Strike Casino Resort and the new Moneyline Book Bar and Grill for Monday Night Football. It is a hoot. They got all types of Monday Night Football drink specials and prize giveaways. It is a fun time on Monday night, but it really is a fun time all the time at the Gold Strike Casino Resort new Moneyline Book Bar and Grill, the second-hour sponsor of Sports 56 Middays. And coming to the Gold Strike Casino Resort this weekend, it's Travis Tritt. He'll be in concert on the 15th. That will be at 9 o'clock. Tickets available on Ticketmaster.com. And then on the 22nd, Terry Fader will be live at 9 p.m. Tickets, again, available on Ticketmaster.com. Every Thursday, customers may come in and earn their way into a $15,000 slot tournament. And don't forget Thanksgiving Day food specials in Buffet Americana. Have Thanksgiving down at the Gold Strike Casino Resort. And check out the new Moneyline Book Bar and Grill, the South's premier sports entertainment venue. It's right inside the Gold Strike Casino Resort. You can wager on all of your favorite sports at one of their 10 betting kiosks located throughout the resort. And you can watch the games on 60 HD screens while you lounge in plush seating. Enjoy craft beer, signature cocktails, and great food. Plus, don't miss the Top Golf Swing Suite, a virtual reality experience with a variety of fun, interactive games that every sports fan will certainly love. And with a 50-foot bar, 16 video poker machines, and lively entertainment, Moneyline Book Bar and Grill is the South's only venue that brings together sports, gaming, dining, and nightlife into one exciting destination. If you're heading down to the casinos, make sure you check out Gold Strike Casino Resort and the new Moneyline Book Bar and Grill.
We do have a winner now either somebody that was smart or somebody that just listened yesterday when I gave the answer and paid attention. The only other quarterback with multiple games in the same season with a perfect passer rating was...
I wasn't paying attention to you yesterday.
That's not a surprise. Ben Roethlisberger, 2007, was the only other one to do that. Congratulations to our winner. You will be notified. We'll let you know what you need to do to pick up your prize, the $25 gift card from Humdingers.
Steve Macy, University of Memphis. He joins us next. This is Middays as we broadcast live today from Landers Nissan in South Haven on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
Hi, this is Greg Gaston from Sports 56, and I want to tell you about Donnie Morrow and the Morrow Group at RE/MAX On Point Guarantee. You'll sell your home within 65 days or they will work for free. Donnie Morrow and his team have sold over 500 homes during the past 3 years, and over 200 homes sold last year alone. Call 901-359-9698 or go online at MidSouthHomefinder.com. List with Donnie Morrow and sell tomorrow. Realistically, these things can happen. Restrictions apply. See Realtor for terms and conditions. Free guarantee applies. A listing agent's commission. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hi friends, Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Jewelers, and this will be my 52nd Christmas offering the finest gifts of jewelry you can find anywhere in Memphis. Whether she's given you hints about what would make her happy, or whether you're going to surprise her this year, let me invite you to join the thousands of Memphis men who have been putting beautiful gifts from Russell Brothers Jewelers under the tree for decades. Come see our wonderful selection of the finest gemstones, diamonds, sapphires, rubies, emeralds, and all the rest. Put them in rings, pendants, bracelets, and earrings. Let your imagination go and think inside that box, the Russell Brothers box. Like I said, we have a huge selection, but if you don't see what you're looking for, we specialize in custom design just for her. At Russell Brothers Jewelers, we take great pride in offering the very best to our customers, the very best in beauty, the very best in quality and value and service. Come see us at Russell Brothers Jewelers and let us help you be the very best Santa you can be. Russell Brothers Jewelers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
Pop the top on your next party. 34 North Cocktails. Available in Memphis now. Great for football grove parties, around the hunting campfire, and when you get home, entertain friends. Pop a premium can of Barrel Thief. Tastes just like an old-fashioned Barrel Thief made with aged bourbon, bitters, a hint of orange, a touch of vanilla, 15% ABV. Then, for you vodka lovers, try Sneaky Pucker, a refreshing lemonade premium vodka cocktail, 12.5% ABV. Made with super premium vodka, lavender, simple syrup, and lemonade. Delicious and smooth. Let the party begin with 34 North Cocktails.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Who wants to go see some lights?
Funny thing about the holidays is, nothing flies by faster.
Hey guys, want to build a snowman? Yay! Ready to open presents? Yay! Excited for New Year's? Woo! Who's ready to go back to school?
Well, actually, the Lexus December to Remember sales event also goes by fast. That's because for a very limited time, you'll find some of our best offers on our most popular models. But don't wait. Offers end January 2nd. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Lexus of Memphis. DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutoSales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Bust it. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays delivered by FedEx. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by Gold Strike Casino and Resort in Tunica. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
Welcome back, everybody. 11:32 the time, halfway home on this cold Tuesday as we broadcast live today from Landers Nissan. That's at 371 Goodman Road in South Haven. Hey, the unofficial mayor of DeSoto County, Cecil Sal, just came in, dropped off some money for us as we are broadcasting live today to try to raise money for the Affordable Christmas campaign. And that money will quickly be doubled by Landers.
That's right. Landers matching all donations up until 1 o'clock today. So come on by, donate in person like Cecil did here at Landers Nissan. Or, again, you can do it via text. Text the word Trinity to 77977. You could donate that way. Again, as long as you do it before 1 o'clock, Landers is going to match your donation.
Before we bring on Steve Macy, I teased this earlier. This is according to Sportsline, the odds-on favorite to get the Arkansas head coaching job. Mike Norvell, the favorite at plus 300. Brian Clark at plus 500. Mike Leach at plus 600. Bill Clark.
I was trying to figure out. Brian Clark.
Yeah, I'm looking at it going, Brian Clark, Bill Clark. Mike Leach at plus 600 and Willie Fritz at plus 750. It is never a dull moment over at the University of Memphis. Steve Macy's the Senior Associate AD at the U of M. He joins us now on Middays. You can follow him on Twitter at Steve Macy. Steve, I mean, how crazy is this? Last Monday, we're talking about the most incredible Saturday that had just passed with College Game Day and then the big win over SMU. And then yesterday, we're talking about James Wiseman, about these other poachers out there that may come after Mike Norvell. It is crazy. That's 1 week. Memphis has been in the limelight for good, for bad, for everything in between in the national spotlight in sports for the last 8 days and counting. Pretty incredible.
You're welcome. I mean, let me ask you, is your prep time, I mean, has it been cut in a third and a half? I mean, you just walk in and you go, okay, turn it on, we're ready to go.
That is so true, Steve.
Yesterday pretty much could have been that. There's no doubt about that. Yesterday was there wasn't much else that people wanted to talk about. That's for sure.
I put together on Sunday because I work an awful lot on for the Monday show on doing a bunch of stuff on Sunday, and I put it all together. I look at it, and I go, we're never going to talk about half this stuff. Why did I even put that together? But let me start. We'll get into basketball here in a second. Let me start with football. After the bye week, Tigers in action this Saturday at Houston. We know how important these games are. They control their own destiny. And then, of course, you hear the news about Arkansas firing their coach, and quickly Mike Norvell's name pops up. Florida State opens up with the firing of Willie Taggart. Quickly Mike Norvell's name pops up. I guess you guys are used to it, or at least going to get used to it.
I think that's the testament to the football program that we have. It's testament to Coach Norvell in terms of what he's built here. And we've talked about it so many times. He's not just a good football coach. He's a good Memphian. He's good for the university. Everything he does, and every time he talks to somebody, you feel an emotional connection that he has created here in this town. So, we owe him a great debt of gratitude to say, hey, you've been awesome here. At the same time, it's a heck of a lot better than being worried about, what are we going to do? Are we going to have to make a change at the head coaching position because it's not working out? And we're coming off of game day being here in town. We're coming off of a sold-out stadium of almost entirely of Memphis fans for the first time that anybody can remember. And this is a great time to celebrate. And he's in a position right now to probably decide what he wants his future to look like. And everybody here loves working with him and thinks he's a perfect fit for Memphis, and is doing everything that they can to to make that decision easy to stay here in Memphis. And that's what, that's a tough task for Laird Beach as the new AD to work through. But if Coach Norvell is looking to leave, and I don't know that he is or isn't, but I think that he's earned that right to have people here in Memphis say, hey, we want you to stay. And I think that's what he's heard loud and clear throughout the community.
Steve, you're actually, as far as Memphis football goes, you're a bit spoiled because you don't even know the bad times of Memphis football.
No, but it's true. I was kind of looking at the SMU game as a bookend of my first weekend of Memphis football was the Ole Miss game in 2015, and then obviously with the SMU game. But what's been interesting is that on either side of that time frame, the week before the Ole Miss game in 2015 and the week after the SMU game here in 2019, the previous school I worked at in New Mexico State, which at the time when I moved here had the longest losing streak, well, in both those instances, they played at Ole Miss. So I saw some people that I worked with last weekend, and obviously the week before the Ole Miss game we played in 2015. And so I've seen some football that struggled. So I understand what people are going through. But as I've said to many of my friends and boosters and coworkers, what you're seeing right now is unbelievable. And I haven't gone through the same emotions that you have here at Memphis, but I understand it. And I had a lot of people this past weekend from New Mexico State, just kind of looking at me bright-eyed and said, how awesome is this, what you're going through? And I said, I can't even describe it to you. Knowing what the pain is of struggles and the comments of, what are we going to do about a coach? What are we going to do about the program? Should we give in? Should we give more? All of those questions are things I've been through, and it's hard. And so these great times are phenomenal. And as the emotion I felt at that SMU game, just the Go Tigers was heartfelt, and it was amazing being part of that.
The next 2 weeks, games at Houston and at South Florida will determine the fate of the Tigers leading into that Cincinnati game, because that game on the Friday after Thanksgiving could be extremely important. So my question to you is, after a sellout crowd that was 99% Tiger fans, how are the ticket sales going for that Friday after Thanksgiving, when we know a lot of people will be around the country visiting family and friends for the holidays, but there's still a lot of people going to be in the area?
Yeah, I think they're going well so far. It's still a couple weeks away, and we're just starting to ramp up really our hard marketing on this game, and still trying to relive a little bit of the SMU game and that whole day, and reminding people of how great that day was. We've got a couple things that are coming out this week as hey, this was pretty special. Let's try to keep this going and create that momentum that we want to have all the time. And that game showed us what we can do here. And yeah, there were some things that worked at our advantage. The weather was perfect. Game day was here. It was the ESPN national game in prime time for the first time in our history. But it's possible. And you start looking at that and you say, okay, let's continue this opportunity to have a full stadium, to have Tiger fans, making it a very, very difficult place to play for the visiting team. And all of a sudden, that game against Cincinnati, if everything stays and everybody stays on serve, that game's going to be really for just about everything. It's going to be who's going to host the championship game. And for Memphis, if everybody continues to win out as they have, we look like we could either host a championship game by beating Cincinnati or be completely out of the championship game if we don't win it. So that game is going to be a massively important game, and that's where we need Memphis again. And I think if you had fun at the SMU game, then maybe you didn't really like college football to begin with or whatever, but come back. And if you've got family in town for Thanksgiving, have them come with you. This is going to be that type of game, like you described, Greg, that is for everything. And it's so much fun to think that we have this opportunity to be playing for something this big.
So with all of the stuff that happened starting on, I guess, Friday, late afternoon, early evening, what has the last 4 or 5 days been like for you guys over there?
I think it's a lot. For us, it's been very, very tight-lipped, and the president is the one that's going to be the voice for the university, and we're very comfortable with that. And that's our that's everything that we're saying is that the president's going to be the single voice, and I think that's smart to not have a bunch of different thoughts and opinions going on out there, and that's kind of what we're going to stick with and let things play out as they are. Once you get courts involved, and the NCAA is obviously involved, and all of those things need to play themselves out. And when there's something that needs to come out from the university perspective, it'll be Dr. M. David Rudd making those comments.
But it is quite obvious that the university and Penny Hardaway are all on the same page. Everybody involved is on the same page. And do you have any idea if when this first came out, which I think it came out to the media on Friday, but I think this was kind of in motion maybe on Wednesday after the opener on Tuesday against South Carolina State, was there any dissension that people maybe didn't want to go down this route? Because it seems like it's all in now.
Yeah, I don't have any information other than what we've been able to put out, and that's really that, what the president and the athletic director have said directly in the comment, and then that, anything else we're going to say further, that's going to come directly from the press.
Tonight is obviously a huge game, the first real test kind of against a really good opponent that's right there in the rankings with them, and it's another big stage for one of your athletic teams, on ESPN tonight against Oregon. So the exposure continues.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for the team to have the type of opponent they want to see if they can match up against, and even though it's considered a neutral site game, it's clearly a road game. They're in Portland, and Oregon's just down the road, and I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of Tiger Blue that has made the trek out that way. So it'll be a lot of green and whatever that other color that they call yellow, or I can't even see it sometimes.
Highlighter.
Fluorescent.
Yes, it is. It is a big highlighter, or I guess I don't even know what the most famous highlighter brand is. But I think that Sharpie highlighter. We'll promote Sharpie today. Sharpie highlighter.
Yes,
and I think it's a huge opportunity for them. Yeah, I'm excited to see how they match up. I'm excited to see how the Tigers look on that type of a national stage, as young as they are. I think it should be a lot of fun, and I feel good about it. But it's going to be a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. I think tonight's game will be the gauge at where they are this early, because as most people expect, and most teams do, you get better as the season progresses, and you have a young team, and the question is who's going to step up when you're trailing. Through 2 games, they've blown out 2 opponents. So if you're trailing, or if something negative happens out there on the court, who's going to be that leader out there on the court, that vocal leader? So we're waiting to see who steps up, who will be those leaders, and how a young team in a hostile environment will be able to perform. So I think tonight will give us some early season answers, Steve.
I agree. You look at, and you kind of think about who all was in that recruiting class, and when you get to college, almost everybody that's playing college has been the leader in their high school team, and a lot of these guys, including all the starters, are coming off of high school careers that were phenomenal, and they were all the leaders of their high schools. So how that meshes together and who steps up when they need it, it'll be fascinating to see who kind of becomes that focal point. And you've got different types of leaders, whether it's the vocal and the rah-rah guy, or it's the one that does it completely by example with how they play, and other players rally around that style of play. I think that's, whenever you've got a brand new team, in a lot of cases that's always what happens. And I think the character of a team is always revealed when things are down, or when things aren't going swimmingly well. And I think that's when we'll see, like you said, it will be fascinating to see what kind of character the team takes on. What do they rally? Do they get down? Do they get after it? I think based on everything we've seen, these kids get along really, really well. Just being around them on the day that we did the intro video shoot and the photo shoot, the amount of camaraderie was extremely good to see. Just all these guys coming from different parts of the country, all being the same age and getting along as well as they do. I feel like when things get tough, there's going to be a sense of camaraderie that they rally around each other, and find a way to get it done. So I feel good about it. But yeah, I think it is going to be. It is a nice little subplot to watch.
All right. He's Steve Macy, Senior Associate AD at the University of Memphis. He joins us every Tuesday to talk Memphis athletics. You can follow him on Twitter at Steve Macy. Thank you, Steve. Enjoy the game tonight.
Go Tigers. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Well, at least we know this. They literally have a target on their back. At least they did yesterday during practice.
For all we know, they might wear that on their uniform tonight, the way they're going.
We will take a break. When we come back, 2.5 questions to wrap up hour 2. Again, we're broadcasting live from Landers Nissan, 371 Goodman Road in South Haven, the Affordable Christmas Campaign. We'll tell you more about that when we return. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab a seat for Happy Hour. Johnny Radio's Happy Hour from
Gabe,
1
we'll
to 3 on
Sports
Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
For the best lineup of quality, fuel-efficient, and fun-to-drive vehicles, get to Wolf Chase Honda and Wolf Chase Nissan. Over 1,000 new certified and pre-owned vehicles in one great location. Catch the savings now during our huge model year-end sales event. Score an amazing deal at Wolf Chase Honda and Wolf Chase Nissan and get to the game in style at Germantown Road and Highway 64. Family owned since 1981.
It's car buying time now during Wolf Chase Nissan's Summer Savings Event. More cars, better offers, and bigger savings than ever before. Model year-end savings on every new 2019 Nissan in stock. Financing as low as 0% up to 60 months on select models for qualified buyers with approved credit through NMAC. Hurry in for exciting summer savings. And remember, if your car says Wolf Chase Nissan, you've got the best deal. WolfChaseNissan.com.
First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today, 6482 Poplar Avenue just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. AC trouble? Make your first call your last call. Call Air Doctors of Memphis, 901-598-HVAC. Owner Matt Davis is a third-generation full-service air conditioning specialist. Air Doctors of Memphis services all major brands, and labor and parts are guaranteed 100%. Their yearly AC checkup is only $60, and 24-hour emergency service is billed at normal rates. Your comfort is their highest priority. Contact airdoctorsofmemphis.com or call 901-598-HVAC. Need physical therapy but don't know where to go? Tried physical therapy but had a bad experience? Grab your physician's referral and head to Revolution Physical Therapy at the corner of Goodman and Getwell. At Revolution PT, you'll get one-on-one, hands-on therapy. Better and more thorough than just going to the gym. Revolution is locally owned and staffed by neighbors who care about your maximum recovery. And they accept all major insurances. Certified in dry needling, expert in myofascial release. Always relaxed and friendly. Revolution Physical Therapy is just what you need.
Pop the top on your next party. 34 North Cocktails. Available in Memphis now. Great for football grove parties, around the hunting campfire, and when you get home, entertain friends. Pop a premium can of Barrel Thief. Tastes just like an old-fashioned Barrel Thief made with aged bourbon, bitters, a hint of orange, a touch of vanilla, 15% ABV. Then, for you vodka lovers, try Sneaky Pucker, a refreshing lemonade premium vodka cocktail, 12.5% ABV. Made with super premium vodka, lavender, simple syrup, and lemonade. Delicious and smooth. Let the party begin with 34 North Cocktails.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays presented by FedEx. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by Gold Strike Casino and Resort in Tunica. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
Thanks, we are live at Landers Nissan today down in South Haven. Trinity Church has their affordable Christmas campaign going, and we're looking for your donations to help them out. And Landers Nissan is going to help out by matching any donation up until 1 o'clock today. You can come on by and do it in person, or you can do it via text. Text Trinity to 77977. You can complete the form there. You'll choose Affordable Christmas from the drop-down menu, and boom, you can do that. It's very simple. Donate that. We're going to get anything up until 1 o'clock today. Landers Nissan is going to match your donation. So help the folks out with the Affordable Christmas campaign. Time now for 2.5 questions.
Who, what, where, when, how, and why? Questions start with these. Step right
I'm just a normal kid, like you, except that I ask questions. And because I'm brave enough to ask questions, I come under scrutiny.
Asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions?
Now here is a question for you.
What does the fuck say?
Question number 1. Next month, we'll have the President's Cup. Tiger Woods choosing himself as a playing captain for this year's President's Cup. Do we care about the President's Cup at all?
I love it. I love any kind of competition, international competition for the U.S., but I don't think so. I don't think it's that strong a sporting event nationally. Universally, I don't know. I can't tell you what they care about in other countries, but the Ryder Cup is the big one when it comes to international competition, so this is like the baby brother. Plus, it's in December. It's not normally golf season in most places around this country, except if you live in Florida and Southern California and things of that nature. And we're nearing the holidays, too. So it's not in the conscience of people. So to answer your question, I would say no, not that many people care about it. But you and I, we care about it. But for the most part, I don't think people do.
But I think Tiger Woods, one, he was going to do it no matter what. But I think this event absolutely had to have Tiger Woods playing. To get something, because
right.
That's the fact that it's going to be like 10 days before Christmas. Like, it is just I don't know that you can get people's attention really for golf at that time of year.
Right, you're correct. They're going to have to sell Tiger to sell this event.
But if Tiger wasn't playing, I don't know that anybody would care about watching it at all.
No, not at this time, and even at other times during the year. Even during golf season, it's strong for golfers, but for everybody else, do they care as much? And especially when this, again, is secondary to the Ryder Cup.
Question number 2. Other than the Patriots, right now, what team would you say has the best chance to win the Super Bowl?
Well, that was the first time I've actually watched a full game of the 49ers, watching them play, and they looked pretty good. Saints, I've been high on, and they were very disappointing. I think it's going to be, even though they play in the same conference, and I know they have struggled of late, but Mahomes is back. I still think Kansas City is a Super Bowl caliber team, but they're playing in that same conference. Can they knock down and beat the Patriots? So maybe I need to take an NFC. To answer your question, maybe I have to take an NFC team. And I would probably say, I like Green Bay, but I don't like them that much. And San Francisco, I really enjoyed watching them last night despite losing. But do I have that much confidence in Garoppolo? I still think when it's all said and done, it's and I like the Saints too. I still think the Chiefs are going to be the team that's going to give New England a battle, and I would go with Kansas City.
So you don't take the team that's beat New England? You don't even consider
the
Baltimore?
Ravens? No, I don't.
I think it is the Ravens.
I don't know.
I think the Ravens are really good.
Lamar
Jackson is. I mean, right now,
I know
Lamar Jackson's
a
real problem for teams.
He is the. If it's not Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson's the MVP.
Better.
No,
it's not going to be what the Ravens of defense is old, or their old defenses, but their defense is getting better. The Marcus Peters addition was a good one.
But here's the thing: they lost in. It was in Baltimore, right? If I'm not mistaken, or was it New England? It was in Baltimore, right?
It was in Baltimore.
Okay, in Baltimore. New England's 8-1 right now. Baltimore 7-2. So if New England wins the rest of their games, they're going to have home field. Baltimore's going to have to go to Foxborough. So I still like New England over Baltimore. But you're right on with Baltimore. They are certainly a team. But I watch out for the Chiefs still. I know they have struggled of late, but Mahomes is back. If he stays healthy and gets healthier, let's say, which is what they're hoping, they're still a very dangerous team.
All right, question number 3, and Gabe, you can answer this one as well. Which will be higher, the points scored by Alcorn State against the Tigers on Saturday, or the margin of victory of Ohio State over Rutgers?
Okay. By the way, can we get a confirmation, because I believe it's Alcorn State. I'm doing that game. That's why I'm asking. I don't know for sure, but I believe it's Alcorn. So the point total for Alcorn on Saturday.
I'm going to say Alcorn, so you can say what you want.
Well,
potato.
No, I will look it up, and I will make sure it's correct. Ohio State and Rutgers, the difference, and then the total points for App State. I mean, for Alcorn State.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alcorn State will score... They will score maybe 50, maybe. And the margin of victory for Ohio State over Rutgers, Ohio State will win. Does he call off the dogs? Ohio State 77-7 over Rutgers. 70-point win. It will be the margin of victory for Ohio State, Rutgers over Alcorn State's total points.
I'm going to have to agree there. What Ohio State did to Maryland last week is a proving ground for how many points they can score on a really bad defense.
The line on that game is around 53, I think it is?
So I looked that up.
I'll have to go check, yeah.
I think it's around 52 or 53, something like that. Ken Pom has Alcorn State scoring 58 against the Tigers. He's got that game as 85-58.
Well, I just told you 50. So 58's possible, but Rutgers may score a touchdown, may get shut out. Ohio State, blindfolded, can score 60. They're going to pile it on. We live now in a college football world, don't we, Gabe, where you better pile it on. You better.
Oh, yeah,
right?
and Ryan Day alluded to that. I mean, style points matter in college football, especially with the college football playoff.
I want to say that the line's like 53, and then the over-under's like 60.
51.5 is what I have. 61. This is Westgate Superbook, 51.5 and 60. What did I just say? 50.
I got 61 here as the total.
61 as the total. 51.5 as the line. So they're looking at, probably 58-0, 61-0. I think they're going to get in the 70s. So I'm going 77-7, 70-point margin. Alcorn scores between 50 and 55. If it's what Ken Pom says, 58, it's still going to be the margin of victory, Ohio State over Rutgers.
It's just the difference. Ohio State's defense is so good.
Yeah. They're even without Chase
Young. They're
still, and Rutgers, I mean, come on, Rutgers is bad.
Rutgers is Rutgers, for goodness sakes. Will they hire Greg Schiano, though? That's the question. When we come back, our final hour, Don Wade will join us for The Dish. Connor O'Gara from SaturdayDownSouth.com on college football. And he will tell us who he believes is the right choice for Arkansas moving forward as their new head coach. And we'll tell you more about why we're here today at Landers Nissan with the Affordable Christmas campaign. That's all coming up as we continue on Middays. Right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Now at Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care Centers, buy a 2-pack of Night Vision Brilliant headlamps and get a pair of Proformer wiper blades free. Because when you put safety first, your equipment shouldn't be second rate. So upgrade to Napa Night Vision Brilliant headlamps and get a pair of Proformer wiper blades free. Do it yourself or have it done for you. That's Napa Know-How.
Napa Know-How.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care Centers. Some restrictions apply while supplies last. Offer ends 12/31/19.
When you're in need of quality jeans, shirts, and boots, think Frontier Western Store in Olive Branch. Frontier has thousands of square feet of merchandising at everyday low prices. Tons of jeans by Carhartt, Wrangler, and Ariat. Whether you're after classic denim jeans, dungarees, or work pants, you'll find them among Frontier's amazing selection of stylish modern fits. Flame-retardant jeans and shirts now available as well. Colder weather is on the way, and Frontier is prepared with overalls, coats, and fleece jackets. Women's Sherpa jackets by Simply Southern starting just $29.99. Don't forget the boots. Frontier boasts dozens and dozens of styles of boots. Work, dress, or play. Come try on the latest boot trends as well as proven classics. Ariat, Durango, Dan Post, and many, many more. You are guaranteed to find your next favorite pair at Frontier. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, or shop online 24/7 at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Listen up. If you're a parent or a young man looking for a sport that will change your life, I want you to consider wrestling. This is a good sport that develops integrity, discipline, a strong work ethic, and a fitness level that will last you a lifetime. And the best way to learn this craft is at Elite Wrestling Academy on Highway 64 in Bartlett. It's located in the Memphis Judo and Jiu-Jitsu Complex, or you can call them at 901-870-7275 or look them up on Facebook. At Elite Wrestling Academy, you have the top coaches of the game in Memphis, led by Chris Douglas and Jeremy Doty. The ratio is never more than 4 wrestlers to a coach. They have 3 All-Americans, 3 state champions, and 3 wrestlers on the national team. This is a youth wrestling program for 1st through 8th grade ages and is a feeder program for all Memphis high schools. If you're interested, you're invited to stop by, see the place, and get a free week just to see if you like it. The boys practice 5:30 to 7:30 Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Presidents, CEOs, and NFL players love wrestling. Come see why at Elite Wrestling Academy.
One of the things that marks a truly great restaurant is how much they use local products. And 117 Prime, Memphis's premier downtown dining destination, is no exception. Whenever possible, Prime works with local farmers to bring the freshest ingredients to you. That goes for everything, including the bar, which carries Blue Note Bourbon and Riverset Rye, both locally distilled spirits. 117 Prime is committed to the finest quality in everything they do, and you'll know it from the first bite and the first sip that you're in a really, truly special restaurant. You'll know you're at Prime.
Mid-South Power Distributors is your source for all things diesel. For more than 26 years, they've supplied all the diesel parts that you need. From simple repairs to complete overhauls, they have it all. Whether it's heavy, medium, light-duty, agricultural, marine, or off-road, Mid-South Power is the leading source for all things diesel. Fuel injection, turbochargers, engine parts, alternators, starters, and brakes, they can supply all the parts and services you need. Stop in today at 3250 Mill Branch Road in Memphis or call 901-396-0710.
Pop the top on your next party. 34 North Cocktails. Available in Memphis now. Great for football grove parties, around the hunting campfire, and when you get home, entertain friends. Pop a premium can of Barrel Thief. Tastes just like an old-fashioned Barrel Thief made with aged bourbon, bitters, a hint of orange, a touch of vanilla, 15% ABV. Then, for you vodka lovers, try Sneaky Pucker, a refreshing lemonade premium vodka cocktail, 12.5% ABV. Made with super premium vodka, lavender, simple syrup, and lemonade. Delicious and smooth. Let the party begin with 34 North Cocktails.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports 56 Middays presented by FedEx. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by 34 North Cocktails. Pop a top on a Barrel Thief or Sneaky Pucker from 34 North Cocktails today. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays, broadcasting live today from Landers Nissan at 371 Goodman Road in South Haven, Mississippi. Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie on location. Gabe Kuhn back in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. It's the Tuesday, November 12th, 2019 edition of the program. Sports 56 Middays delivered each and every day by our title and presenting sponsor, the great folks at FedEx. FedEx can help provide global access for your business. Learn more at fedex.com/e-commerce. Don Wade will join us in just a moment for the dish. A little bit later on in the hour, Connor O'Gara from SaturdayDownSouth.com.
We're here at Landers Nissan today with the folks from Trinity Church, part of their Affordable Christmas campaign, helping out for your donations. Either stop by in person to donate or text Trinity to 77977 to donate. And again, if you do it in the next hour up until 1 o'clock, Landers Nissan is going to match all of your donations. So please help out. The folks at Landers are going to match those donations, so it's doubled, and we can help out a lot of families here in DeSoto County this holiday season.
Don Wade from the Daily Memphian joins us every Tuesday for the Daily Dish. You can follow Don on Twitter at DWadeMEM. How are you today, Don?
I'm still recovering from Sunday in Nashville.
Oh, that's right. Your Chiefs and the Titans. That was a crazy game. I watched that one from start to finish on television. I'm sure you were upset that your team lost, but as far as football is concerned, there was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of intrigue in that game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one way to say it. There was you know what there was? There was a generational quarterback who threw for, 450 yards or thereabouts, and you still found a way to lose the game because even after all these years as a head coach in the NFL, Andy Reid sometimes can't manage a game, and you've got the most undisciplined team in the NFL that gets the most stupid penalties, and you've still got a defense that's hot garbage.
But how do you really feel?
Other than that, the rest of it was just, the Titans are a bad team. They're a bad team, but they were good enough to beat the Chiefs. So, the Oakland Raiders must be very excited about the red carpet that's been put out for them to win the division.
Don, I can take you one further. My Colts, they lost to the Dolphins.
Yeah, but your quarterback, your real quarterback retired, and then your second quarterback was injured, right?
True.
So, we had the best quarterback maybe ever in the history of the game.
And still found a way to lose.
And he played great, and we still found a way to lose to a bad team.
By the way, Ryan Tannehill...
Learn how to kick a field goal.
Yeah, that was a mess. That was... I don't know what they were doing on the first one and the second one to get it blocked there. I can tell you from having watched the kid Butker, the kicker, that when he's on, and once he misses something, and he missed an extra point early,
right?
It's going to be trouble the rest of the day. It's in his head, so I kind of saw that coming too.
Well, who saw Ryan Tannehill coming, taking over for Mariota this year after the Titans acquired him in the offseason, coming back from injury and leading the Titans? Again, it's not a great Titans team, but they're in the mix in the AFC South. But Tannehill rescued them.
Yep, he has, and it's funny. The Chiefs were very well represented at that Titans game, and of course, if you were a Chiefs fan in a jersey, and my son was one, he was wearing a Mahomes jersey. There were tons of Mahomes jerseys. There was the occasional Mariota jersey. I saw one Tannehill jersey, I think, all day. And he's the guy that walks away with the win.
How many Chiefs fans do you think there were? Take a guess for us.
What does it seat? You know what the stadium seats?
I'll have to look that up.
I do not know.
Give me like a percentage maybe of what you think it was.
Yeah, I'd say it was maybe 60-40 Titans or 55-45 Titans fans.
Wow,
it was close. I don't think it was quite 50. I don't think it was quite 50-50 because there was a part of the lower bowl that looked pretty solidly Titan fans, but the opposite side of the upper bowl was heavily Chiefs. So
good support. Good support from that
but
team.
It made it very quiet among Chiefs fans walking out of there, except for the Titans fans mocking Chiefs fans with the tomahawk chop and chant and everything. But nobody said anything, because what do you say when your team plays that bad and you can't win with the best quarterback on the planet?
I got you.
There's nothing you can say.
69,143 is what I have for capacity at Nissan Stadium. By the way, we're at Landers Nissan here in South Haven. How about that?
I love the fact that if you look at the Wikipedia page and look at the capacity, and it goes like year by year, I guess changes were made. In 2005, it was 69,149, and then in 2006, it went to 69,143. So they lost 6 seats somewhere in a year.
There were 6 great seats.
And always bank on Wikipedia. It's never wrong, right?
Absolutely.
That's true. All right, so let's get serious now, because here we got a situation with the Memphis Tigers basketball program and their athletic department that they are going all in on the James Wiseman situation. And, Don, I know you've been covering a lot of Grizzlies, and we'll talk about them here in a minute. But from what you've gathered and read, do you think they're making the right move, following their coach down a path that could be a landmark case and could be great news or could be a disaster?
There's so much to unpack here, and for me it kind of starts with the ambiguity of the statement that the NCAA put out saying he's likely ineligible, which is kind of like being possibly pregnant, right? you would like some, definitive clarity on something like this.
Sure.
But that's the NCAA for you. I think part of what's in play is the hangover effect, if you will, from what happened with the Derrick Rose case. Now, to be clear, do I think that there were shenanigans involved with Derrick Rose's standardized test? Yes, I do. But I also think that the NCAA completely botched that thing when they said he was eligible. The Tigers played him all year, and then they came back and said, "No, sorry, he's ineligible. We're vacating everything." And so it looks like they're trying, like the NCAA is kind of trying to have it both ways again. And so I get it to a point that if you're the university, that you're just going to dig in and stand up for your coach and stand up for your player and say you're not going to play this silly game the way the NCAA wants to play it. But the problem with that approach is they still have the upper hand on the actual rules. And if there was, whether that rule is silly or poorly worded or whatever it is, if it's still deemed to be an impermissible benefit, they've got you. And because you're digging in the way you're digging in, if they've got you, and because you're not a blue blood, they're going to slam you. You just know that's what will happen.
Yeah, don't you think, and going back to the Derrick Rose deal, you're absolutely right. We've talked about it a lot already, that he was ruled eligible, then changed. In this case, James Wiseman in May, ruled eligible, changed again. We don't know why it was changed because no new information, according to everything we read, was thrown into the mix. But think about Memphis. If they had won...
I'm not sure about that. Let me stop you there. I'm not sure if some of the things that we're taking as what we know for sure, we know for sure. In other words, do we know for sure that all the way along, at whatever point they found out it was, $11,500? Do we know that they knew that was the amount all the way? Or at some point did they think it was something smaller? I'm not, the way things have come out, I'm not convinced that everything that we think we know, that we actually know.
Well, the actual case file, what do you call it? The copies have been, have been made by people, and it's been out there. I mean, it's been read from front page to back page. So I think they know what was in there to begin with. But the point here in this argument, and again, I stressed this yesterday, and I'll stress it again. I am not even close to an attorney. I have no idea. Some of this stuff is so far over my head. But the argument here, for the most part, is more the $1 million donation that was made back in 2008 by Penny Hardaway, as opposed to so much this 11.5 with Wiseman. I mean, it goes hand in hand because now he coaches James Wiseman at the University of Memphis. But the whole reason why the money that was given to the family for the move, which was impermissible, I would assume, by the TSSAA, and thus that case, but had nothing to do with Memphis at that point, but now is because of this booster tag from his $1 million donation in 2008, right? That's the whole crux of this NCAA argument. Am I correct?
Well, yeah, the way the NCAA works, let me go back to the impermissible benefit. An impermissible benefit is anything that's provided and made available to a student athlete that's not made available to other students. And that's kind of what North Carolina, part of the way they wiggled out of that academic fraud thing, unbelievably, because those state classes were available to everybody, not just student athletes, right?
Right.
So if you take this to the nth degree, what that means is if you are a basketball player and your coach invites you over to his house and he gives you a popsicle out of his freezer and doesn't make popsicles from his freezer available to non-student athletes. Technically, that is an impermissible benefit. By the same token, when you're talking about if any donation makes you a booster of that school, well, I guess what the NCAA is saying, forever, right? They're basically claiming that you're a booster forever. So, like when my son was playing college baseball and they would run their yearly kind of fundraising campaign for the baseball program, and if I sent in a $100 check, then I guess I am, forever considered a booster for SEMO athletics. I mean, where do you draw the line on that?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. It's that's what I guess will be cleared up, or at least a little bit more cleared up. I think in this whole case the NCAA will at least have to look at this and actually define what makes somebody a booster and have a clear definition of it.
Yeah, but that's the argument. I said this yesterday. It's going to come down to verbiage, and you can't assume what they meant by the way they wrote it because there's so much ambiguity and it's very obscure that I think that will be the argument from the Wiseman-Memphis side, is that it doesn't really say that. I mean, it's kind of wishy-washy.
I tell you what would help them. What would help James Wiseman more than anything in the university is if this could be a jury trial. With Leslie Ballard and Steve Furries, what you need is a jury trial. Because if those guys get to pick their jury, you're going to win.
Well,
I covered the Mary Winkler case, and they won that case with the selection of the jurors. That's where the case was won.
Well, to be frank, if the trial was held in Memphis, I could pick the jury, and I'd be all right in getting the university to win this one.
I think you could win a jury trial a lot of places because, like, from everything I'm seeing, everybody's taking James Wiseman and Memphis' side on this.
The anti-NCAA side.
The NCAA and the way they act, that I think there's a real appetite to see the NCAA get it shoved back in their face.
Yeah, it could be anybody. You could insert name here, insert school here. Anybody fighting the NCAA right now has the public support.
Well, this is interesting because we've brought up these kind of strange scenarios before and thrown it out there to our listeners. And what would you rather have? Obviously, in a perfect world, nothing has happened. This story hasn't come up. James Wiseman and company are playing their season, and they're killing it, which they are doing on the court so far, and they go on and they have a spectacular year. That's not the scenario. You can't throw that out there because it's already the genie's out of the bottle. So here's the scenario. If James Wiseman, and that's what they're trying to do, get this permanent injunction, play James Wiseman the entire season, they make a run at the Final Four, they make a run at a national championship game, but in the end, the NCAA will penalize you, put you on a couple of years probation, whatever.
You can't let it get to that point. And as you pointed out, you're not a lawyer, Greg. Eli's not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer either. You know who used to be a lawyer is my colleague Jeff Calkins at the Daily Memphian. And he's got a column up right now that says I think is absolutely on the money, which says that the NCAA and Wiseman's legal team need to be talking, and it's been fun to give them the double bird and all of that, but it's time to settle this. And that's absolutely right.
Oh, yeah, you're saying nip it in the bud now.
Look, yeah, they're playing hardball with Ohio State football. I'm sorry, Memphis basketball isn't Ohio State football. You need to get something settled now. Agree on the medicine you're willing to take, whether that's 4 games, 10 games, whatever it is. Have him sit out those games. Have this thing done, and still have all that runway in front of you when you start the conference season, so you can have a great record, have a great seed, go into the NCAA tournament, nothing hanging over your head.
Okay, I agree with that to a certain point, Don, but they have made their bed. They have put their flag down. I don't know if they give in now. They think they're right, and the NCAA is wrong.
Attorneys are always willing to negotiate.
Yeah. That's why most cases don't go to trial.
But is Penny and the university has his back.
I mean, in the end, attorneys up front are always going to come out very big as what their case is. There's a reason most cases settle. They realize you don't ever want to put it in the hands of others to make the decision for you. You get something that is acceptable to you, and you agree on it and move along.
No, I agree completely. I understand where Jeff's coming from. and certainly know that that's the right way. But again, just for fun for our conversation, I think a lot of times, and we bring up these scenarios, if you can have Wiseman play the entire year, and let's say they made the Final Four, because I'm pretty sure if Wiseman did not play, they're not a Final Four team, right? I think we'd all agree on that. Would you accept a Final Four run, even a national championship game run, where you know that's being taken away in the long run? You're not going to ever get that back. The banner's going to come down.
We'll see, and that's
people
why
would take
I
that in a second. They would take that in a second rather than James Wiseman's ineligible and he can't play at all.
You know what? There are a lot of things that before it happens you say you'll be okay with, and then when it plays out that way, you're really not so okay with it. And I think in this instance, I mean, you talk about a pattern like that's what happens when this school goes to the Final Four. It gets vacated, right?
But let's say
thing. So, but I that's why I think you've got to strike some sort of a deal. And remember, it wouldn't just necessarily, if it went that way, it wouldn't necessarily just be this season. You could lose. If they're going to take that away, what's to stop them from saying, "Oh, by the way, you're ineligible for postseason play next year and maybe the year after"?
They could do that.
Got these recruiting restrictions, and now you're not going to get those 5 stars because nobody's coming to play for you when you're on NCAA probation. So you're not only putting this year at risk, you're putting other years at risk.
Yeah, but also remember, who is the guy who suffers the most out of all of this? It's Wiseman, because Wiseman could have done.
I disagree with that.
Wait, let me make my point then. Wiseman was the one that was told he was eligible to play. Wiseman could have easily skipped college and went on and played professionally somewhere, right? So what happens if they make an agreement now and the NCAA says, okay, you're gonna have to sit out Wiseman for 12 games, and Wiseman says, and I don't know if he would do this, that's it, I'm done. I'm going because we already have heard the stories and read the stories about teams from around the world that would love to grab him and pay him right now for a professional season before he goes to the draft. You could lose him.
Right, and that's not ideal for him, but it's worse. It's a worse situation for the rest of this year's team in the program than it is for him. He's going to be a lottery pick and a multimillionaire that, barring injury, plays in the NBA for a long time, no matter what.
Right.
So, I mean, this is a few months of his life, whatever happens.
But he's got to worry about himself. He's got to worry about himself first, right?
But if he's suspended for 12 games and then whatever, that's not that big of an effect on him.
Well, maybe we don't know. We don't know. I mean, he was distraught the other night when there was the point that he may not have played that game. I mean, in that game, that was a game against Illinois Chicago. There was let's cut him some grace on initial reaction because here he is, a young guy. He's excited for this moment. When you sit him down and explain to him this is the ruling, you're going to have to miss 8 games, 10 games, whatever it is, but then you get to play, and everything that you dreamed of achieving when you came here is still on the table. He's going to get it, and he's going to accept it, I believe. But again, going back to
every interaction, the media's had with him, I think he's been pretty impressive. So
James Wiseman's been extremely impressive. But let's go back again to the whole point of why they're all in. They believe that Penny Hardaway and what he has done doesn't constitute a booster giving money to have a player play for him that would be deemed illegal by the NCAA. So
that may be, but I ask, and I can say I'm a happily married man. I've never been divorced, but I have friends who have. They will tell you that you may be right on certain points, and you may think you're entitled to, such and such a percentage on these particular things in a divorce, but there comes a point where you've got to make concessions or it's going to go worse for you.
No doubt. But again, I don't know.
That's where we're at. That's where we are. It's time. You've made your point. The whole world's behind you. They think the NCAA is scum, and they're rooting for you. Now take a small bit of medicine, and let's get on with it.
Yeah, but a lot of other people would say you're all in. Don't give in now. Go if you're going for it. Go.
I'm sorry, but that's not smart. That's not a smart way to approach this.
Well, things have changed in this world because people have been willing to go all in and stay with it. That's why we have things that change. That's why we've had decisions that have been changed, because people go all in. They don't go 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I'm not saying that's what Memphis will do, and I'm not saying that's the smart thing, Don, but if you want change, and people talk about this possibly in a landmark case, well, then you have to go all in.
Change is already coming. The NCAA is, and it may be at a bit of a glacial pace, but they're being forced to make changes. You know, the likeness and image business. They're being forced to change their ways. But if you take a hard stand, especially as a program like Memphis, on this, they have a long track record that proves how petty they can and will be, and they will get their pound of flesh and more with you, and then they'll loosen up on somebody else. You're just, as Memphis, you're just not in a position to take this all the way to the wall and expect it's going to have a good outcome. It's not a good idea.
Good stuff, my friend. Really appreciate it. That's Don Wade from the Daily Memphian. Read all his terrific stories at the Daily Memphian. Follow him on Twitter at DWadeMEM, and catch him every Tuesday here on Middays. Thank you, Don.
Take care, guys.
You too.
Mid-South Ag Equipment, folks, for all your equipment needs. Go see the folks at Mid-South Ag, just south of Collierville on Goodman Road. It's a ways down Goodman Road from where we are here today. But when you go there, you are going to see all of the Grace Case IH Farm All Series tractors, bush hog cutters, bush hog zero-turn lawnmowers. If you go to their website at midsouthag.com, you can see all the great deals they've got going on right now, special financing options for you that they've got going on right now on the best in the business with those Case IH Farm All Series of tractors. It's easy to get to. They're just off I-269. They're a half mile west of the Goodman Road exit. You could see it from I-269, as a matter of fact, because there's so much equipment there, such a big place. You could see it from I-269. So easy to get to. All your equipment needs, whether you're looking to buy equipment, need service on your equipment, maybe you're looking to trade in some equipment, maybe you're looking for used equipment, Mid-South Ag Equipment is the place to go.
All right, we're here for another 32 or 3 minutes. We got Connor O'Gara joining us next, but again, still have time to come out and help us out, and it's easy. You can do it from home as well. That's right. You could text Trinity to 77977 to donate to the Affordable Christmas campaign. That's 77977. Text the word Trinity, and up until 1 o'clock, any donation is going to be matched by Landers Nissan. All right, we're talking college football. We'll talk specifically about the Arkansas situation with Connor O'Gara. He joins us next. This is Middays live from Landers Nissan in South Haven on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Search Sports 56 on Facebook and give us a like. And follow us on Twitter at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
In today's evolving workplace, XMC understands the process of getting office work done has moved from the desktop to your pocket. The new Xerox multifunctional printers and ConnectKey app technology are game changers. Are you working with confidential information? Does it need to be secure from unwanted threats? Do you need to translate documents to another language? Xerox's App Gallery provides solutions like secure printing and easy translator technology. XMC is the second largest exclusive Xerox agent in the U.S. with 9 locations to serve you. We've been in business for over 25 years and have received top awards from Xerox. In changing our world one experience at a time, our team's committed to doing what's right for your business. XMC is proud to be your leader in document and print management, and it'd be our pleasure to serve you. Contact XMC today at 888-814-3114 or visit our website at xmcinc.com. XMC, Excellence in Office Solutions.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model, and if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Did you learn your ABCs when you were a kid? Well, as a grown-up, it's time to learn your CBDs, as in CBD edibles, oil tincture, pain cream, and beauty products. All found at Your CBD Store, with 3 locations, Poplar Avenue, North Germantown Parkway, and Goodman Road East. You'll find all natural, organic, and non-GMO products. Need to learn more? Your CBD Store has a knowledgeable and friendly staff that can answer questions, help with choices, and put you at ease about your CBDs. Your CBD Store, with 3 locations, Poplar Avenue, Cordova, and South Haven. Your CBD Store, making it as easy for you as ABC CBD.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays, presented by FedEx. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by 34 North Cocktails. Pop a top on a barrel thief or sneaky pucker from 34 North Cocktails today. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
Lights up. We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays, our final half hour live today from Landers Nissan, 371 Goodman Road in South Haven, Mississippi. Again, you can contribute to the Affordable Christmas Campaign. While we're on the air, Landers is doubling whatever you can give. So if you could drop off some money here in the next 25 minutes, please do so. If not, you can donate by texting Trinity to 77977. Complete the form and you choose Affordable Christmas from the drop-down menu. Affordable Christmas empowers low-income families with the opportunity to purchase gifts at affordable costs for the Christmas holiday. Without further ado, it's Tuesday, time to talk college football with Connor O'Gara.
It's time to talk some SEC and college football on Sports 56 Middays. Joining Greg and Eli is Connor O'Gara from SaturdayDownSouth.com. Now, here's Connor with Greg and Eli.
Senior national columnist for SaturdayDownSouth.com and SaturdayTradition.com. He is Connor O'Gara. You can follow him on Twitter at CJ O'Gara. Connor, I'm with you 100%. I like the thoughts that you have about Mike Leach as the next Arkansas coach. Do tell. How are you today?
I'm doing well. You know, every time I get that when I come on with you guys, and I get the Thunderstruck intro music, I'm ready to go. I really need to incorporate that. I really need to incorporate it for the rest of the things in my life. Like, I'm about to brush my teeth, I'm about to go to the gym, like, whatever it is, I need that as my intro music. It just sets the stage perfectly. I love it.
Fires you up.
Yeah, it does. It does. Maybe Mike Leach listens to Thunderstruck, and that's why he's been able to have such great offenses over the course of his career, despite the fact that he's been at Texas Tech and Washington State. Yeah, I mean, when I initially heard about, Chad Morris firing, my mind immediately went to Mike Norvell, and I think a lot of people are in that camp. And it's not to say that there's anything wrong with going after somebody like him. I'm not sure if he'd even be interested in the Arkansas job, because I do think he will have Power 5 interest very, very soon, especially as Memphis is able to rack up wins down the stretch. But I think that going and selling it to the people of saying, hey, we just had this offensive-minded coach from the AAC, and what are we going to do? We're going to turn around and we're going to hire another offensive-minded coach from the AAC. I'm not saying that's necessarily fair, but I'm saying that might be a little bit of a tougher sell for Hunter Yurachek. So I think that Mike Leach makes a lot of sense from the standpoint of, look, this is somebody who everybody knows who he is as a personality in college football, but he's so much more than that. And Arkansas fans aren't getting that at this current juncture. They're still thinking of him as this wild, out there guy, and they're like, oh, how's he going to fit in down here? Well, you know what? The dude has won 8 games in 12 seasons that he's been a head coach. He's done that at Pullman and in Lubbock. I mean, like places that had no identity before he got there, and he has totally transformed them. This is the same guy who said, oh, Gardner Minshew, why go to Alabama to be the third-string quarterback when you can come here and lead the nation in passing? And then what did he do? He led the nation in passing. Like, all he does is crank out top 10 passing offenses no matter where he's at. And I think that for Arkansas, they're trying to find an identity right now. They're trying to figure out a way, how do we do something a little bit different? Because the two hires that they've made in this decade have not turned out well, and they've both been significantly different. They wanted to go the speed route with Chad Morris and run an up-tempo offense, and you can argue that he didn't have enough time to overhaul the roster. I'd argue losing by 26 points to Western Kentucky and your former quarterback sort of, it sort of digs your grave for you. But, the Brett Bielema hire didn't work out either. They were going to try and build in the trenches. That wasn't a fit in the long term in that division. Why not go the Mike Leach route, go a little bit different, see in this modern era of passing offenses if you can get that guy to come on board, who, by the way, he made less than Chad Morris last year. So I'm not saying that you have to necessarily break the bank to hire somebody like Leach, but I think he'd get this fan base excited, and more importantly, I think he'd be able to win a lot of games.
And I guess the question for me is, what is the Arkansas job? What are their possibilities going forward? Because I just look at where they are in the SEC West now, how far behind they are, and what their ability is to recruit, the in-state talent not there, where can they go? I mean, I don't know that there's anybody that could really get that turned around. So what is possible at Arkansas?
Possible is getting that hungry, confident, I'm going to prove everybody wrong group of five coach. And I don't know necessarily what that list officially looks like yet, but I'm sure that there are people like Willie Fritz is somebody that we've seen thrown out there, the Tulane head coach, and obviously is talked about, Norvell. But, I don't know if Arkansas is going to want to go that route again necessarily, just because Hunter Yurchek's job is going to be on the line with this. You don't get to hire 3 football coaches if you are an SEC athletic director. That just doesn't happen. So I think that he is really going to want to make sure that he absolutely gets this one right. And if that means spending a little bit more than what they were originally preparing for, then he'd be willing to do it. Now, obviously, the question is on the other end of, okay, well, if they were able to shell out that kind of money, who would be in a position where they'd want to take that? I don't think somebody like Lane Kiffin is realistic. I think he would rather stay at FAU and weigh his options and weigh the market. And I actually think, Mike Norvell's going to weigh his options as well. And, I think that the only like big name guy who would really have to kind of fall into their lap that would make sense other than Leach would be Gus Malzahn. And he's somebody who right now has a job. He has a team that's in the top 15. And I think that, this next month is going to be really interesting to see the way they play against Georgia, see the way they play against Bama, and what ultimately Auburn decides to do with him in his future, because obviously everybody remembers a couple years ago where he apparently had the offer on the table to take that job, and Arkansas ultimately with Auburn was able to come over the top with a deal. But I'll be interested to see kind of what shakes out and who actually looks like a realistic candidate in a couple weeks.
I don't know if the prime time to Florida State thing has died down, but I haven't heard much in the last several days about the Knowles opening. What about you? Anything brewing as far as Florida State?
Well, in terms of Florida State, it's just going to keep making coaches more money left and right. I mean, look what it already did for P.J. Fleck. It gets him a nice little raise. It gets him a new 7-year deal. It's going to happen to James Franklin, too. I mean, James Franklin, his agent, his team plays ball really, really well. If you remember after that 2016 season where they win the Big Ten championship, Penn State sort of comes out of nowhere, and everybody is waiting for that extension to come. And usually those extensions kind of come, around bowl season or wherever. Coaches want to get that money. And Franklin and his team, they dragged that process out up until like a week before the start of the 2017 season. He is always rumored for these jobs, and I don't necessarily think he's actually interested. I think it's a little bit of the Mike Gundy thing. He's kind of learned, all right, I kind of just want to play ball a little bit and see how much my current employer really loves me, and I think that's ultimately what's going to happen with him. I think it's going to make him some money, but I think Florida State, I don't think the Deion Sanders thing was actually like a real thing. I think that was a little bit contrived, throw it out there, see what kind of reaction we sort of get. Maybe he had some people in his corner who are just kind of floating it out there to see what the reaction would be like. See if you can get alumni on board with that, because Florida State right now, I think they can't afford, obviously, to mess this up. You're at a very dangerous point in your history where, we talk a lot about these programs like Nebraska and Tennessee and Michigan, these programs that really just struggle to maintain that relevance, and what a power in you were great 20 years ago, but, how do you fall out of national relevance on your basis? Well, you make wrong hires, and if Florida State messes this up again, that's not necessarily a battle that you want to go in with, the yearly battle of Florida, of course. So, yeah, I'll be interested to see. I don't think the Stoops thing is going to happen for either of them. I think that I think that Mark Stoops is somebody who really likes his gig at Kentucky, and it would really have to take a strong over-the-top offer. But he's paid well at Kentucky, and people sort of forget that. So I don't know. I think we're going to kind of wait and see how this all plays out. But I think that all the names that were thrown out there initially, to me, aren't as attractive as Florida State fans might think.
Connor, what did you take out of the Alabama-LSU game?
This LSU football team, pretty good. Am I right?
I think they're okay. Joe Burrow's doing all right.
You know, this year is different, and I think that everything has been building to this moment. And I still picked Alabama to win this game, but I'm just so impressed with what LSU has been able to do from the offensive standpoint. And it's not just that they put up the points early and that they scored 33 points. They got to this great lead where they punched Bama in the face. They've had leads in the second half during this 8-year losing streak, where they've been up a field goal with 2.5 minutes left with the ball, and they're like, how do you lose this game? LSU has always found a way to lose these games, and instead of finding a way to lose that game, they just don't. They keep their foot on the gas. They have guys like Clyde Edwards-Helaire who can just shake off 2 tackles and find his way into the end zone, and they do all the little things that allow you to win football games. That's what's made this LSU season special. It's not just Joe Burrow. It's not just Joe Brady. It's this collection of talent that is really just sort of built. Everything has been leading up to this point. And LSU has known what it's gone through against Bama, and they knew that if they decided to go conservative down the stretch in that game, they'd probably lose it, and they didn't. And I give them a lot of credit because that was not an easy thing to do, and we can poke holes in the Alabama defense all we want, but that was a special effort, a special program-changing performance from that team.
So people are already going crazy in anticipation of what we will see tonight with the playoff committee's rankings. I read a tweet earlier from Tim Brando. Let me see if I can find. Here it is. Well-respected Tim Brando. The College Football Playoff Committee has all their cronies on TV all day preparing everyone for Alabama privilege tonight. There's no doubt they'll drop only 1 or 2 spots. Committee will claim eye test and forget their non-conference schedule. An embarrassment. I drop them 5 spots. Where do you stand with Alabama after a loss to LSU and where they should be in the rankings?
So is Tim Brando then going to point out that Ohio State didn't have a Power 5 non-conference opponent, but Ohio State got really lucky that Cincinnati's been better than expected? We're going to point that out, or are we just going to
apparently not
throw this out there? Like, yeah, I mean that's the tough thing, and I like Tim Brando and stuff. I gave him a little bit of crap because he had Nebraska at number 8. His top 10 poll that he comes out with after the first week of the season, I thought he was out of his gourd, but whatever. I think that right now, Bama is going to. I'd be surprised if they're anywhere but 5 or 6. I don't think that they're going to be in that top 4 just because the resume just doesn't hold up. And I think that Georgia's actually going to be ranked ahead of Bama. I know that's kind of a weird thought because for most of the year, Bama has looked like the better team, and I do think Bama is one of the best 4 teams in the country, but it's not as simple as that. Eye test is subjective, and they got the benefit of the doubt in the poll last week at number 3 ahead of a team like Penn State, which had more quality victories because they had been so dominant. They hadn't had that close game yet like Clemson had against UNC. They hadn't had any close wins yet. And when you lose a game, it makes you rethink things. And all of a sudden, you're being compared to one-loss teams instead of undefeated teams. And I think that the committee is going to want to put a team like Georgia ahead of Alabama because it just doesn't have the quality wins. Those opportunities are not there down the stretch. Even if Auburn could be a 4-loss team at the end of the regular season, and that might be Alabama's best win. Without a conference championship, it just sort of hurts you in that regard. So I don't see Bama getting into the playoff regardless of where they're at in terms of, right now, if they do somehow come in at number 4 tonight, I think that it would take a 2007-like sequence of events for Bama to get in, but I realize that people are going to get big mad no matter where they're ranked tonight.
Yeah, because if they come in tonight ranked behind Georgia, let's say Georgia's 4 and Alabama is 5, Georgia has to play Auburn, Alabama has to play Auburn. If they both win, you would think Georgia is still ahead of Alabama. They go to the SEC championship, and from that point on, now this is interesting because Georgia earns their way into a championship game with just the 1 loss. But let's say they lose a tight one to LSU. Now they have 2 losses, and they're not getting into the playoff with 2 losses. They haven't had a 2-loss team in the playoff. But what are you going to put Alabama over them? They had just been ranked behind Georgia. Georgia makes it to the championship game. Alabama doesn't. And then Georgia is penalized because they're playing that extra game and losing that game to LSU.
You're getting way down the road with this. I love it. Let's not all hypotheticals. Let's just go.
Well, who else is Georgia going to lose to if they beat Auburn? Right? I mean, they would go to the championship game. They're going to the championship game, I would think, unless
they're going to the championship game.
Regardless. Yeah, right. So again, I feel sometimes that you could be actually penalized by being in the championship game if you lose that game.
Yeah, but I don't think that'll ultimately matter though, because if Bama loses, I think Bama would theoretically be out. I don't think that Bama would necessarily slide past Georgia and slide into the playoff in that exact scenario. I understand what you're saying now. And wait.
But Connor, again, just follow me. And a lot of things can happen. The Pac-12 still maybe in this thing, but if let's just say Georgia was 4 and Alabama was 5, okay, and they both win out, and nobody leaps them, even though probably it'll happen. Georgia beats Auburn. Alabama beats Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Georgia is still ahead of Alabama going into the championship game. But now Georgia loses in the championship game. They will have 2 losses. They'll fall behind Alabama. Alabama didn't even make the championship game. Alabama in that scenario would be ahead of them and in that scenario. Right?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly. We don't know necessarily, it could come down to quality wins that Georgia has. If the Auburn win holds up for Bama, a lot of these things are left to play out. It is an interesting thing to bring up and I get what you're saying. It's well, then why make the conference championship game? What's the point of this? I think the selection committee has also been pretty, and I understand that Bama having to play one less game would play a part of this, but the selection committee would be well, Bama's only got 1 loss, Georgia's got 2. That's how they've operated in the past. I'm not saying that that's necessarily fair,
right?
But I think that that's kind of the direction that they would tend to lean in a situation like that, because that makes their argument for them, and that's the ultimate trump card: is how many losses do you have? That's been the trump card in the playoff system. That's why we had yet to see the 2-loss team in the playoffs. So yeah, it's an interesting scenario to see it play out. Who knows if it will? But yeah, if I'm a Georgia fan, then in that scenario, then yeah, I'd be very frustrated if that's the sequence of events and getting penalized for playing in a championship game.
All eyes will be on what the committee says tonight. It'll be very interesting. He's Connor O'Gara, and he'll, of course, talk about it, write about it. Senior national columnist for SaturdayDownSouth.com and SaturdayTradition.com. Make sure to follow him on Twitter at CJ O'Gara and catch him every Tuesday here on Middays during the college football season. Connor, as always, thank you, my friend. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate it, guys.
Take care.
This hour of the program is brought to you by 34 North Cocktails, the Barrel Thief and Sneaky Pucker, 2 options for you, and they're available around Memphis at liquor stores. Convenient pre-made drinks right out of the can for you. The Barrel Thief is just like a bourbon old-fashioned. Sneaky Pucker is a cocktail made with premium vodka, lavender, simple syrup, and lemonade. Delicious and smooth, and again, available at local retail liquor stores around the city of Memphis. Grab yourself a 4-pack. Try both of them. You're going to love them. 34 North Cocktails bring you this hour of the program.
When we come back, we'll wrap it up with one final thing. This is Middays on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
The Peter Edmiston Experience with C.J. Hurts. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Only on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells.
Funny thing about the holidays is, nothing flies by faster.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride your one-horse open sleigh.
Well, actually, the Lexus December to Remember sales event also goes by fast. That's because for a very limited time, you'll find some of our best offers on our most popular models. But don't wait. Offers end January 2nd. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Lexus of Memphis.
Now this is barbecue weather.
You say that about every kind of weather.
That's because it's true. Central Barbecue is perfect for every time of year. But the fall, when the leaves are turning and the air is crisp and cool, what better time for delicious Central Barbecue?
You know how I hate to agree with you. I mean, I really hate having to agree with you, but...
Ha! Even you have to admit, autumn and Central Barbecue are perfect together.
With the cooler weather and Tigers football and Grizzlies basketball...
It all says, let's just have some tasty, slow-smoked Central Barbecue.
There is something about that smoky smell when you walk in the door.
When you walk in the parking lot.
Ooh, that does feel particularly special. Of course, next month you'll say winter and Central Barbecue go together.
You don't know that.
Farmers Insurance knows that there's a not-so-subtle difference between the sound of a car hitting your rear bumper and the sound of a clown car hitting your rear bumper.
Whoa! Sorry about that!
We call that a 3-ring fender bender, and we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent.
They know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Mid-South Power Distributors is your source for all things diesel. Their newly renovated drive-in repair shop is open to the public. Whether it'll be your everyday driver, farm equipment, fleet vehicle, or heavy-duty truck, their ASE-certified technicians will get you back on the road. The on-site dyno is ready to run all the necessary diagnostic testing. From preventative maintenance to complete overhauls, Mid-South Power can handle it all. Stop in today at 3288 Mill Branch Road or call 901-396-0710 and online at mid-southpower.com.
Now, back to Sports 56 Middays delivered by FedEx. This hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by 34 North Cocktails. Pop a top on a barrel fee for Sneaky Pucker from 34 North Cocktails today. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoie.
Mics are hot.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays, live today at Landers Nissan in South Haven, Mississippi, 371 Goodman Road. A lot of people to thank. First of all, the great folks here at Landers Nissan, and also Billy Fields at Cougar Chemical, and, of course, why we're here, the Affordable Christmas Campaign.
That's right. Again, donations, you don't. If you weren't able to donate today, you certainly could continue to do so, helping out families, low-income families here in DeSoto County. But the folks at Trinity Church and the Affordable Christmas Campaign is a great thing. Again, you still got time to text Trinity to 77977 here in the next few minutes to get that, not only to get that donation in, but to have it matched by Landers Nissan. We thank them, and kudos to the folks at Trinity Church, Landers Nissan, everybody, the Affordable Christmas Campaign. A great thing, helping out those needy families here in DeSoto County. Time now for one final thing.
Before Greg and Eli get out of here for the day, they each have one final thing they think you should know to make it through the rest of your day. So here are Greg and Eli with one final thing.
We don't often talk ice hockey on the show, although I wish we would talk a little bit more about the sport. I love it. Don Cherry is a name that a lot of people who follow hockey know. He is a one-of-a-kind broadcaster and former coach, but now he's out of a job. He also happens to be 85 years old. And after 38 years, he has been fired by Sportsnet, the company he works for, after making some divisive remarks. Don Cherry, who also is the host of Coach's Corner on Hockey Night in Canada, left viewers shocked. And I'm reading this from the story in the, this is the Fox News story. After accusing you people, ostensibly a reference to immigrants, of disrespecting veterans on Canada's Remembrance Day. He said, "I live in Ontario. Very few people wear the poppy," Cherry said, according to ESPN, referring to the Veterans Remembrance Pin. "Downtown Toronto, forget it. Nobody wears the poppy. Now you go to the small cities. You people that come here, whatever it is, you love our way of life. You love our milk and honey. At least you can pay a couple of bucks for a poppy or something like that." He added that these guys paid for your life or your way of life that you enjoy in Canada. These guys paid the biggest price for that. That got him fired. After 38 years broadcasting, if you don't know who Don Cherry is, you've seen Don Cherry. He wears the most colorful suits ever imaginable and has been a broadcaster, I said, forever. 85 years of age, out as the broadcaster of Hockey Night in Canada.
Well, somebody who enjoyed a little shorter tenure is David Levy with the Brooklyn Nets, the CEO who was hired by new team owner Joe Tsai on September 18th. Today is already fired.
What?
So he didn't even make 2 months.
Now, what was that about? Because you got Durant out. He's hurt.
Well, this is the CEO. This has nothing to do with the actual team. I mean, this is not
basketball.
The
I'm sorry. I thought you said the GM. The CEO. Okay, wow.
But, yeah, he apparently did not see eye to eye with the folks there. Didn't even make it 2 months on the job, and he is out of a job. So, well, hope you enjoyed your stay in Brooklyn, David.
Maybe you could take over Hockey Night in Canada.
It was a short stay.
Yeah, that was a short stay. Big thanks to our guests today, Don Wade, Steve Macy, and Connor O'Gara. Tomorrow we are back in studio. We will be recapping the Tigers and the Ducks again tonight, 8 o'clock on ESPN. Should be a lot of fun in the Phil Knight Invitationals. You got the number 13 ranked Tigers and the number 14 ranked Ducks. Again, we will talk about it tomorrow on the show. Jerry Palm will join us. Sigmund Bloom will answer all your NFL fantasy football questions, plus dinner and a movie. That's coming up tomorrow starting at 10, but stay tuned. Coming up next, it's Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. For Gabe Kuhn and Eli Savoie, I'm Greg Gaston. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, everybody.